All right, hey, and welcome to Dice Friends.
Woo!
I'm Jeremy. Today we're going to be running a pseudo sequel to the game that I ran a little over a year ago called The Sandwiches of Dry Gulch, which took place in this pseudo medieval Western trope mashup setting. If you put Deadwood on in the background and then read a bunch of Fritz Leiber while it's on, maybe that'll give you an idea of what we're looking at in the setting. So yeah, it's kind of a pastiche of those two things mixed up together. Last game, when we did this setting, what I did is I took the rules from Fiasco and the rules from basic D&D and I kind of squished them together to see how well they fit. And I felt it worked okay, but for this game, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more traditional D&D. So obviously, because I like old D&D systems, I decided that we would run entirely with these tiny AD&D rule books that I found kicking around at the Moonbase.
Oh, they're adorable.
And yeah, you can do anything you want, but you have to be able to justify it by citing specific passages in the books. So I hope that your eyes have all been checked by your licensed. No, we're not using this. We're not using this. Yeah, today I wanted to try running a game. Actually, try running a game. I've used this system a lot. This game called Maze Rats. So this is part of the OSR movement, the old school Renaissance, and it's written by someone named Ben Milton, who's a YouTuber called Questing Beast. And what it is it's sort of a distillation of D&D, like old school D&D concepts, down to the simplest possible rule set that you could imagine. So basically, take everything that it is to be like old school D&D, squish it down to make it involve as few mechanics as possible, make it super duper lethal because that's very important, and print it on as few pages as possible. So,
sorry, can we back up a second?
Yeah.
Did you say super duper lethal?
No, I did a little bit. I did say that. So,
but lethal in like the actual way, not the like cheaty paranoia way.
Right. Yeah. So lethal in the actual way. So, you're not the Riverdale actual not like I'm not going to make you lethal. I'm not going to make you drink a goblet of poison when you sit down on the table. That's not how actual. If
so your characters are going to die.
If you're just coming from Riverdale, that's not how Dungeons and Dragons is actually played.
Okay.
Your characters are fragile, and that's sort of a conceit of the system.
Okay.
As a result of that, they're very quick to create. So you don't, if you needed to create another character to continue playing the game,
all right.
It's not like your character dies and we tell you to go away and you're shunned. I mean, we could do that, but no. If your character dies, you just create another character, and we'll find a way to bring them into the game as quickly as possible.
All right.
So yeah, we're going to be playing around with Maze Rats. The actual game system rules of this. So this is a book I printed out, and it's got with card for the cover, and Tally, my wife, sewed it together for me, so it lies flat.
Like a little zine.
It's a little homemade zine.
Nice.
Yeah, the actual business rules of the game encompass 3 pages, and then the rest of it is actually just charts and things that are inspiration for the Dungeon Master, which is really cool. So it should be pretty easy to pick up. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create some characters for you guys. Now, this is a pretty simple process, but we'll walk through it step by step.
Sure.
So, the nicest thing about this character creation system is that you can create your character entirely through random die rolls. So you don't need to think about your character at all, who might die.
Therefore, you don't have to get attached to your character.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You just need to name them.
Yeah, you'll need to name them. There's a name chart, but I don't think that it'll work for this setting because you're going to want something a little bit more pseudo-Western pastiche.
Sure.
So you can
So when we say pseudo-Western, do we exist in a world where there's sort of weird Magic 6 shooters too, or?
Yeah. I mean,
I can be a gunslinger?
Yeah, you can have you can have a gun.
Okay.
So the way that I've sort of decided that it works in this world is guns exist, and their use is limited only by their relative expense. So guns are really, really expensive. You buy guns with gold pieces. You pay for ammo with gold pieces.
Yikes.
And the silver piece is the $20 bill of this.
Okay.
of this particular setting.
So only high rollers have guns.
high rollers have guns. So
Can I roll a high roller?
can you roll a high roller? You
Depends how you roll.
Yeah, it depends on how you roll.
All right.
So yeah, we'll go through this process. You only actually have to make one decision over the course of this. So let's start at the beginning. So the first thing is you need to choose or roll your abilities. I would say just roll them. So roll 1d6, and you can see there's a chart here that will tell you what all your abilities are as a result of that single die roll.
Oh, there you are.
All right. So my abilities, and then just write down like little grid of your stats here.
Yeah, just write down your 3 stats.
Do you want us to announce things out loud?
You can go ahead just to sort of explicate things for the viewers.
So I rolled a 3, which means there's only 3 stats. There's strength, dexterity, and will. So that means my stats are strength +1, dexterity +2, and will 0. So I'm leaning towards the dexterity build.
Yeah. I also rolled a 3, so
good.
I have the same stats as Serge's character.
And Kathleen?
We both rolled 4s.
Yep.
So we have a strength of 0, a dexterity of 2, and a will of 1.
Interesting. So we're kind of a roguish party thus far.
A little bit. Yeah.
One team rolling towards mage rogue, and the other half rolling towards strength rogue.
Now, something that I want to mention with this system is that really your features play a much more distinct role in your role than your actual stats do. Your stats are used. Your stats are used primarily for danger rolls, which is a mechanic that we'll get to in a little bit. But you can really build your character as whatever you want to, regardless of your stats.
All right.
Those stats will just help you get out of dangerous situations sometimes. Not that you're going to encounter any of those, but should that happen. Okay. So the second step is just to record your maximum health, and this is a very easy step.
So your character begins with 4 health. Add 2 to the maximum health each time you gain a level. Okay, so we all have a hit point of 4.
That's right.
All right, that is easy.
Yeah, it's very simple. Okay, and then we hit the most complicated part of the entire character creation process. Choose your starting feature. So in the core Maze Rats rules, there are 3 features. Now, these are not really classes because you can take a different one. You get to choose a feature multiple times over the course of your career, assuming you get to 3rd level or 5th level or whatever. And so you can choose a different one every time. So you could start out with the sort of fightery one, and then you could move into the wizardy one, or again, just do whatever. They make a lot less impact than the class levels in D&D do.
Sure.
So yeah, the 3 basic ones that are in the rules are +1 attack bonus, so that's your fighter type. A single spell slot, which works much the same way as in D&D, except your spells are randomly generated. So that's kind of important. So
All right.
You'll know what they are before you cast them, but
Sounds fun, though.
they're not a situation where you always know what you're going to be casting ahead of time. And then the third option is a single path from basically a bunch of skill sets. One of them is the Briarborn. That's sort of like a druidy, rangery kind of set of skills. But then the other 3 are sort of parts of the rogue. Fingersmith, Roof Runner, and Shadowjack. So those are all basically kind of rogue subtypes. Now, I've added 3 features that you can also pick for today, because we played in this setting before, and when we played in it before, we used basic D&D, which also has the classes of elf, dwarf, and halfling.
Yes.
Oh,
What class
right.
are you? Elf.
Yes.
Part.
Yeah. So in this case, I've made elf, dwarf, and halfling into abilities, but I'm saying that you can only take them as your 1st level ability. So if you decide that you're going to take the fighter, then you're a human fighter, and you can't decide to take elf later on.
Can I ask you a question? For elf, if you choose elf, you get a +1 attack bonus. Okay, makes sense. 1 spell slot that cannot be used to cast spells from spell books.
Okay, so this is something I've kind of added to Maze Rats, because after playing Maze Rats for a little while, it can get a little bit frustrating that you don't have any like spell selection or whatnot. So I've added the concept of spell books from another game called Knave. And a spell book is you carry it around with you, and when you have a spell prepared, a random spell prepared, you can choose to, instead of casting that spell, cast whatever spell is in the spell book.
Right.
Spell books are, you can think of them again as being like 50-page books to like big tomes, depending on like how powerful the spell is, and they and you have to have like it's one spell per book.
Right.
So if you get you can
Book of Fireball, for example.
yeah, you have to lug that book around with you, but then when you want to cast Fireball, you would be like, ooh, flip, 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 Fireball.
Got it. Yeah, like recite it from top to bottom with the book as a focus or whatever.
And what I'm generally trying to do with these two is like weird like Vancian like Jack Vancy names for spells. So instead of like Fireball, it would be like Pauling Nose, Flaming.
So we're going Harry Potter here, eh?
Yeah, like big multiple word spell names, just because it's more fun that way.
Okay. All right.
So do you want us to pick a feature, or I can't help but notice there's also 6 features and we have a D6. Do we just roll it?
If you want to do that, you are welcome to do that. But this is a space where I will give you. I will say do whichever of those that you want to do. For everything else, I think you should roll for it randomly because I think that's funny.
I'm going in random.
All right.
Go for it, Serge. Roll.
Yeah, you go first.
Starting features 1 through 3. Racial ability as a feature 4 through 6.
Yes.
3 is the rogue. Now I have to pick one of the 4 specializations. I'll re-roll on 5 and 6.
Okay.
There we are.
All right. I am a Shadow Jack. I have the ability to move silently while hiding in the shadows.
All right. I'll pick one. I'm just gonna go with halfling.
Okay.
And Kathleen?
I mean, like, I feel like elf is basically. I feel like elf is just super powerful because I can use magic and I can get an attack bonus, so I'm going to be an elf.
So this is based on basic D&D where elves are like just strictly OP.
There we are. And I'm also going to choose elf because I want a randomly generated spell. That seems fun.
Okay. You do get that with the wizardy one too. You just can also choose to do spellbooks. Like the wizard is more flexible in spellcasting than the elf is.
I mean, I also don't want to be a boring human.
That's also fair.
I'm feeling very attacked. As the only human in the group, please.
Okay, so that's the most complicated. That's the only decision you're going to have to make. So now we're going to skip step 4 for reasons that I will explain to you later.
Okay.
And we're going to skip step 5 for reasons that I'm going to. Those are the choose your equipment and choose combat equipment. We're going to not worry about that. So so for the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. You can just roll on these random tables. Now, the way that you roll on these tables is you can see that there are 6 groups that have 6 items each. So you roll 2d6s. The first one tells you which of the groups that you're choosing from, that you're getting your feature from, and then the second roll tells you, going down the list, which one you get.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff for appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Appearance. Okay, I need to make all these columns, and we'll start rolling.
I'm just gonna start rolling.
Ooh, you get to roll your background, eh?
I am bony.
I'm barrel chested.
All right, so to start off, 3 and 1. Furrowed. I don't know how I would describe furrowed as. Is this furrowed?
A furrowed brow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you do a full body furrow, but
Yeah, it's one word to describe you. Furrowed. Okay.
I think the one word to describe you will be personality, actually, which is. I'm excited to roll that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I also have a gold tooth.
All right, physical detail. I am furrowed and freckled. Okay.
So I have an exotic accent,
Ooh.
and I am a fortune teller.
I'm also a Actually, I also rolled fortune teller. I'm going to re-roll just so we don't double up on something. If that's okay.
I mean, you can double up. That's also fine.
A furrowed, freckled fortune teller.
Maybe
Sure.
you're in town for a fortune teller's convention.
You know what?
Maybe,
Deal.
maybe.
Deal.
This might work well because I'm a blackmailer.
Oh.
Okay, I'm already getting a sense. It would be good if you all kind of knew each other. I think to start with, if you had some connections. So-
Sure. All right. We're both in a traveling group of fortune tellers.
Good. Okay.
Ooh, I'm perfumed.
All right. Please don't roll another F word. Ooh, snake eyes. Antique. I wear antique clothing.
I wear ostentatious clothing.
I feel like Matt is just like rolling an elf out of a player's handbook.
So, irascible.
I don't know what that word means.
I've seen that word. I've read it twice now. What does it mean?
I'm pretty sure it's quick to anger.
Yeah, that's what or like cranky
Yeah.
is how I think of it, but you saw me making the face of don't make me define this word.
Yeah. I rolled jolly, which I believe is something we all know.
That's perfect.
So I'm a jolly little furrowed, freckled fortune teller named Frankie.
Oh my god.
I am a mopey, gravelly voiced, perfumed blackmailer who is barrel chested and has a gold tooth.
Now, I've already had a character named Frankie. What's another good F word?
Frederick?
Frederick. Ooh. All right. And
If you're going with a male character.
I probably will. And finally, I'll roll my mannerisms, which are rhyming.
Great.
Have fun with
love
that
it.
one.
Oh,
Love it.
no!
Okay, so I am Boney. I have an exotic accent. I'm a fortune teller. I have ostentatious clothing. I am irascible, and I have melodious mannerisms. I'm not quite sure how to do that other than to flow my arms around.
I am done rolling all my dice. I'm an alchemist.
Ooh.
I have a rosy appearance. Maybe I think from like a couple of explosions, it's like actually kind of like pinky rosy.
It's either that or like
drinking all
heavy
your
metal
alcohol.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a top knot. My clothing is wine stained. My personality is know-it-all, so no change. And my mannerism is that I enunciate my words very clearly.
Now, your clothing is wine stained. Is that where you got the rosy?
Yeah, that's sort of where
appearance
my
The
line is
rosé
from.
appearance.
I'll give you a little bit more about the setting. So the last game took place in Dry Gulch, which was a small town, and we learned in that game that Pewterhawk City, not Pewter City, but Trouble in Pewter City makes a better Music Man reference.
Sure.
But we learned in the previous game that Pewterhawk City has a water shortage.
Ah.
Okay, so here's why Pewterhawk City has a water shortage, because it's on a lake. The lake is mysteriously undrinkable. Now,
Oh.
it might have something to do with the fact that there's like a bunch of like pewter and other refineries in town that are dumping a lot of stuff in the lake. But this being sort of, medieval maximum like 19th century technology, people haven't quite figured out what's going on. But yeah, it's difficult. It's kind of a weird situation where there is a drought, but the drought is actually just caused by the lake being really polluted. So yeah, people here are subject to that. And what that means also is you get this sort of like the smog coming in off the lake at nighttime and filling up the streets
Beautiful.
of the city. Like to the point where it is just complete pea soup. You can't see more than like a block at a time. So I guess what led me to this is just like there's a lot of toxins in the air and water and whatever. So yeah, good reason to be maybe a little flushed.
So people don't drink from the lake?
Well, like people do drink from the lake.
Yeah.
But you try and boil your water and you do what you can
Right,
to
and if it's like particularly electric blue, you like
maybe try
you
not to
don't drink it that day.
drink it too much.
You go out
Yeah.
and you pay for some water.
Right, and there's this big industry now of small towns nearby damming up their rivers and shipping water to Pewterhawk City to sell water to the fat cats
Or
who run the town.
but I assume that like most people are like, well, I mean, I wouldn't drink it, but I'll probably bathe in it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, good. 19th century science and medicine.
Yeah.
So, humors. You try to balance all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're all supposed to know each other, should we suggest that we're all in like a traveling fortune teller band that's heading towards Pewter City to try and strike it rich?
Or should we be already citizens of Pewter City?
You can be really either. If you are citizens of Pewter City, then you're obviously going to have more background there and maybe know a few more things about it. But you can. I think I'm totally fine with you doing either of those things. You also don't all have to know each other. You know, if a couple of you know each other and there's enough connections that everyone kind of is inclined to work as a group right off the bat in a one shot, then that's great. But yeah, you do what you want. If you want, I like the idea of the traveling group, but
I think since I'm a blackmailer, it would make a lot of sense if I was traveling around with a pair of fortune tellers and just like listening in, seeing what I could find out, seeing what people were worried about.
have you told them about this? Like, are they in on this game, or are they like, are you telling them that you're someone else?
No, I think they're in on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got two legitimate professional fortune tellers, one elf and one halfling, and then we have,
Human.
Yeah, one human and
The
one elf.
blackmailers.
And then the halfling blackmailer who is totally in on this game, listens outside the tent, gets any sort of like discerning personal information.
Listens under the table.
Just underneath there. Yep.
I can't help but notice that you're worried about your relationship.
Yeah.
Sure would be a shame if that info got out.
Do you like bring a third party in on that to like? Cause otherwise, I feel like your game would have been figured out a long time ago. Like
Oh, right. If there's an immediate step of, I told the fortune teller and then I was blackmailed.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the time, though, there's nothing very interesting there, but occasionally, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe you just, you know, the plan is like it's a very long con. You do this, and then like 2 years later, then you act.
Yeah, just like keep a pile of notes. You never know when it might come in handy.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you also like maybe blackmail isn't the only thing? Maybe you're like also like an information broker sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that not what that is?
I mean, one of them you're selling information. I guess you're right.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good.
Yeah. All right. But how does
I have no idea how my alchemist, my rosy top-knotted know-it-all wine-stained enunciating alchemist fits into this.
Well, you could be a traveling merchant and you just happen to jump in our caravan because we were going to where we needed to go.
That's true. Maybe I'm coming in to check something out.
Fresh start.
If people are willing to spend money on fortune tellers, they're usually willing to spend money on, I don't know, this will make you not impotent.
Yeah.
I mean, given it is like given the setting is like, you know, the Western setting. Maybe you are selling like remedies and medicines and you know, one of those folks who stands on the street corner and tells you like
pet medicine?
Salesman?
yeah, snake oil salesman. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I'm, you know, maybe we're part of some sort of alternative medicine.
What if you're a
like-
pharmacist?
oh my god.
Right? You're like, I
yes.
feel there's some really bad energy coming your way. You should listen to what I say.
Definitely, because I'm a know-it-all, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're an alchemist, and a chemist is just a pharmacist.
That's right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so we're
Apologies to all pharmacists watching.
we've come to Pewter City to sell them woo. Or at least I have. Excellent.
Okay. We're gonna need some names for these characters as well. We've got Frederick. Do we have
I'm going to go with Judith.
Judith? Actually, hold on. And so, just to give me the rundown again, Frederick, you are. Can you give me your background? You're the.
I'm a fortune teller.
What was your ability again?
I am the Shadow Jack.
Shadow Jack. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are a fortune teller?
Correct.
Okay. And Judith was a...
Halfling,
Halfling.
blackmailer.
Right.
With a gravelly voice, apparently.
And barrel
This is going to
chest.
be hard on my voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can only use one-handed weapons. And
I am
I'm short.
Elbiza, Elbeza, because I always make up these dumb names. So tell me what it's called.
Elbiza.
Elbiza.
Okay.
I am an elf alchemist.
Okay.
And I am Oriflamme.
That was a noise. I just snorted. You made me snort.
The elven fortune teller, here to scry your future.
Oh, what a noise you just made me make.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed.
All
It's a
right.
chaotic end of the table, man.
We have to step up our game, Erica.
I have magic too.
Yeah.
Both of us
So
do.
on that note, let's roll your spells for today, so that we can get that figured out. So if you look at the next page after character creation, you can see that there is this page of magic. So first thing that I would like you to do is roll 1d6.
Okay.
And take the row associated with that number, and then roll another d6 to choose the column. One's 1 to 3, and one's 4 to 6.
Okay.
Okay, so I have ethereal effect and ethereal element.
Okay, so then you just roll ethereal effect, roll on that table to get one word.
Maddening.
That's one of the ethereal elements.
And then roll on the ethereal
Wait,
elements.
I'm sorry.
Effect.
Yeah.
Effects.
Oh, I'm so
maddening, yeah.
sorry. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, I understand now. Oh.
Soul.
Maddening soul.
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
Great.
That is your spell. That is your spell for today.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Hold on.
Oh.
So I have disguising.
Ooh.
Chaos. Yes.
Huh.
Great. We're good people trying to do good things.
We are not.
Not even close.
Let's create some havoc. I hear this lake's full of heavy metals. I'm going to distill them.
All right. So the way that spells are sort of described in the Maze Rat's rules is that I basically tell you what your spell does, and then you just do that. But I think it's much more fun for you to just choose to cast it at some point, at some appropriate point, and tell me what you think it does based on its name, right? Like, so I'm going to use Maddening Soul at this point to play some really sick music from the 1960s, and cause that to enrage my enemies.
Be a bard.
Nice.
Then.
All right.
Yeah, it's so. Basically, if you can justify it, if you can justify the name, that's great. But if you can't, if I decide that you can't justify the name, I'm going to make some bad stuff happen to you. Like there'll be
Great.
some side effects, or it won't work as well, or some bad stuff will happen. So like, do try to be true to the name that your spell is given.
I'm so excited.
You get a new one of those every day. So yeah, you're only going to have that one in that one. You only get to cast that once, and then after that, you're going to have to cast something else. Okay, that took a little longer than I expected. But if your character were to die, you have a pretty good idea of how you would go about rolling up a new one, and I'm pretty sure it would not take nearly that long.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where we're at. You guys, I don't know what was up. You can actually maybe tell me after the fact, but whatever it was that brought you to the drunk tank, you were the last ones to leave. Everyone else, like when you got there were lots of people. There was lots of carousing. It was pretty busy. This is in like one of the shallows, one of the poorer parts of town, and it's some guard station with a bunch of like very indifferent looking guards, but maybe you were not in the greatest state to respond when they dragged you off the street and tossed you in there. But so there's a lot of action going on in there. People yelling at each other and talking to themselves on the wall. People drawing weird geometric patterns all over the wall. Obviously, not everyone is here for alcohol consumption, but there's a lot of there's a lot of folks. But over the course of the evening, they sort of have been picked up and just leaving the four of you, who didn't have anyone to come pick you up for you. So
I was expecting him to come get me.
at the end of the night, some guard who's like on the end of his shift is like, well, all right, you four, you look pretty okay, I think. I gotta go, but well, come out here and get your stuff. And he goes and he gets these 4 big chests of stuff and gives one to each. I think that's yours. That's yours. That one's yours. Here you go. And he gives you your 4 chests of stuff.
I love stuff.
Ah.
Do you want us to read out loud what we have here?
This isn't your stuff.
No, it really
No.
obviously isn't.
Holy F! Cool.
So-
Thank you for all of my things.
Yeah, this is
I
definitely
appreciate
mine.
Yeah, sure. You guys can go ahead and read out what is in your boxes of stuff.
Surge.
I have a bear trap, a torch, a water skin, 3 iron spikes, a hacksaw, a jar of black grease, a vial of odorless rose-colored liquid, Kathleen, a large cloak made from the skin of a bear, acts as armor, a chain shirt with a leather chap, a very large 2-handed wooden axe, a shotgun, and a key with a shark impressed into its butt.
Wow.
Bow?
Bow. Yeah, it's just the
The backgroundy bit has
the
a shark in
background
it?
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was called.
I didn't either until I wrote that list.
I have a tinderbox, a torch, 10 feet of coiled steel wire, a small bladder of glue, 3 lock picks, 3 days of trail rations, hardtack and jerky, a pointy purple hat, a velvet hat covered with silver moons, a wooden staff made from attaching an 8-ball to the end of a pool cue, a book of arcane writing, and a piece of paper with a note scrawled on it. Ingots are in a safe under the barrel.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I have a steel mirror, 4 pieces of chalk, iron tongs, a chisel, a grappling hook, 50 feet of hemp rope, padded armor, a dark cloak with a deep hood and a high collar, a Bowie knife, a derringer with 10 bullets. Me and my tiny gun. And a brass coin with a hole in its center depicting a snake spiraled from inside to out.
Oh, wow. That gun is worth a lot of money, apparently.
Oh, really? A
In
derringer?
this setting, anyway.
Yeah, I mean it probably is like more of an ornamentally gun too. Like
fair.
it's a single shot. Derringers are not super duper powerful.
They're very
but,
small.
Yeah, easy to conceal and pull out if you're Han Solo and want to shoot someone with a table.
And I have a number of glass marbles, caltrops, a torch, 3 ounces of some sort of liquid that smells like anise, manacles, a lantern, 1 pint of oil, a purple cowboy hat with gold sequins and the pattern of an octopus, boiled leather armor, a longsword, a short bow and 10 arrows, and a card impressed with a seal incorporating the words "Nothing Ventured" with 336 scrawled on it in red ink, and then a small wooden shield as well.
So, Jer, out of curiosity.
Yeah, your stuff is gone. Anything that you owned of value is well, I mean, like it wasn't in your box.
Sure. Is this the sort of system where we magically just have all the stuff on us, or we have to be like, no, left hand X, right hand Y, we have a backpack? Like, can we assume that there is a bag and we put this in? It's like, no, pick what you carry.
I'm assuming that there's definitely like a backpack or sacks or whatever for you to carry this all around in. You're not having to lug around a chest.
Sure.
So sure, there's whatever backpack and belt pouches and whatever is necessary to carry all this stuff.
Well, I put the things on. This is quite the night. The gear that we
Thank you
received
very
is
much
certainly
for holding
a
all of
fright.
our stuff so safely.
Yeah,
Yes,
whatever.
thank
Let's go.
Have a good night. Good morning. Oh God, I gotta get home.
Let's get breakfast.
Yeah.
I immediately put the hat on.
Yeah, I get dressed in the chain shirt and I put a giant bear cloak on over me. Does the hood, the bear, like mouth and it goes over the top?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Wow.
I guess I put on my pointed wizard hat with silver moons.
Is this kind of
Bravo.
weird looking stuff, or do people walk around wearing these?
People,
kind of
okay, so
things?
people do walk around wearing this kind of stuff in this
Okay.
setting. Like, I want to say the pointed silver hat or pointed hat with silver moons. That's like pretty standard wizard attire. I think.
Okay,
If you're a wizard, you wear
But, like,
stuff like that.
but somebody's not going to be like, "Holy F, that's my wizard hat," and like,
So, how much time have you spent in town? How long have you been here?
I feel like we got here, caroused, and immediately became intoxicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds all right.
I'm not going to say that you've ever seen someone wearing like this particular hat before, but definitely this style of hat is, if you're a well-to-do wizard and you're like in a wizard's guild, like there's there's societies of wizards and such that would have these as kind of uniforms as well. So
Okay.
Oh.
Is my purple cowboy hat a wizard's purple cowboy hat?
no, it's more of just like an ornamental one. So it's pretty distinct, I would say.
Are we overdressed for like 5:30 in the morning?
What is your definition of overdressed at 5:30 in the morning?
Sequins.
You're coming home after having a good time. I think that maybe you can wear whatever as many sequins as you want.
Can we find a diner, order breakfast, and then figure out what happened? Was there any money in these boxes?
No, there was no money.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, you're going to have to give me a second to learn how to speak, because I have to talk in rhyme. So...
You don't have to talk in rhyme, I'm going to say, but you can make some rhyming, if you can pull off some rhyming jokes at various points.
Every now and then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that satisfies the...
Okay.
Now, I in particular, not for myself, but for you, am interested in what that spell book does.
Have at it. I don't know.
I can't
Wizard
read it.
shit.
Elves
I can't
use
either.
these.
Yeah, I mean, like, so you, as an elf, have innate magical talent, but you've never really been trained on, like, the intricacies of reading magical writings. So this is all written in some various arcane glyphs of some sort, and it's just not making much sense to you. I always think of spells in these kind of spell books as being similar to code in that if they're well annotated with comments, then they're like very easy to understand. But if they're not, then someone could just scroll down like, oh, you just do these things, and like you have no idea what it does.
The person who wrote it's very familiar.
This one seems like it's fairly well elucidated in that way. So if you were able to find a wizard to show it to, they could probably give you a rundown on what exactly it does.
Okay. I know for my character, I grew up with a lot of talent, but I never really applied myself. And that's why I'm a fortune teller.
So,
Is anybody good with knives?
In what context?
And that I don't have a bonus to using a Bowie knife or a Bowie knife, however you say it. So if somebody else would be better armed with it, I would like to give it to somebody else. I want a sword or a bow.
I have a sword and a bow. I could give you one of them. I have
would-
bonuses to both.
Yeah, which would you prefer? It's not our stuff anyhow. Let's trade.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you give me the Bowie... Wait. Yeah, you give me the Bowie knife, and I give you the other knife.
The sword?
The sword.
Oh, great. I have a sword.
hey, Albiza,
Yeah.
as
what's
an
up?
alchemist, can you identify this vial of odorless rose-colored liquid? And I'll pass you this beaker.
I think that one might be mine, because I'm perfumed.
Oh. Can I?
So, if you had your like traveling alchemical laboratory, your little like briefcase that has all sorts of like reagents and Erlenmeyer flasks and things like that in it, you could probably pretty quickly set up at a table and set up a burner and test it against a few different things, which would give you an idea of what it does. You don't have any of that stuff because it was in your stuff that's not here.
Yes.
right.
Not right now.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay.
And, Judith,
Hi.
do you
Hi.
recognize the smell of this perfume I might have? Because it smells delicious.
This is the anise flavored stuff.
Smells like anise.
It doesn't say flavored, but smelling like.
Okay. So that you actually do know something about.
Oh.
You know that there's a common like medicinal poultice that smells like anise.
Oh.
So it's got some licorice root or something in
It's
it.
Buckley's.
So
Awful, but it
yeah,
works.
it's the kind of thing like if you were injured and you like rubbed it into your
Oh.
wounds, that it would help you heal up better.
Ah.
So we need
It's
to get
likely
some
that.
money.
Yeah.
We're in a new town. We've lost our stuff. We don't know what's happening. I'd like breakfast. Hold on. Can I find like a random person stumbling home at night?
It's like, as I say, it's like 5 in the morning. So sure, yeah. There's
I'm gonna find like I'm gonna say there's a middle-aged man who's like walking back and maybe went to the pub after work and be like, "You there?
Whoa, me?
Yes. Oh, there's a terrible aura about you, but luckily I am a traveling fortune teller and I am ready to tell you everything that's wrong."
I can tell you 1 or 2 things that's wrong right now, buddy. I gotta get home. I've had a busy night, and oh my god, my head. All right,
Home? Ooh, that's where the most fortunes are coming from.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever, buddy. Bye. I will see you. Whatever. Get out of my way.
I can't believe that didn't work.
But we have an alchemist with us with poultices.
Are you worried about a hangover? We can get rid of your hangover. Low cost. You'll wake up in the morning feeling totally fine.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Okay. What can you do for a hangover?
Oh, so many things. I have this Grabs vial. I have this. It smells awful, but it works, and I like dab some on his forehead in the sign of the cross, and I say, "Goodbye, hangover, be gone." And hopefully, it's numbed his head a little bit.
I'm like,
It
Right,
takes
what you
effect in
say.
15 to 30 minutes.
Doesn't matter what you say, you'll feel better the next day.
it smells like weird.
Of course it does. It's medicine.
Oh no.
Oh.
While he's barfing, can I lift his wallet?
Sure. Okay. So this is something that I think would qualify as something that is dangerous and that has consequences for failure. So I'm going to let you know what you have to do something that is dangerous and has
begins.
consequences for failure.
Excellent.
That is something that I would say constitutes a danger roll.
Okay.
And a danger roll is you roll 2d6 and you are trying to beat a 10.
Oof.
Now, you do get to add your ability modifier that is appropriate for the situation. So in this case, it would be your dex.
Okay.
So sure, go ahead and try and lift his wallet without him noticing.
Now, what happens if we fail? Is there? Depends how much you fail
There's
by.
4 of us and 1 of him, and we all have exciting weapons.
Hey, I've got a staff.
All right. Well, I did not beat 10.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say that you like make a grab for it, and he immediately sees what's going on, and he's like, "Hey, get away from me! Guards! Guards! Guards!"
We run.
And
I
you're,
run.
you're actually pretty near a guard station,
Yeah.
as you may recall. So
Immediately when that happens, I become irascible towards Ibiza. Ibiza! Come on. We are upstanding people. My friend here, we just came back from the drunk tank.
he's not actually listening to you. He's
He's just
running.
yet-
He's hightailing it because like he sees you have weapons. He sees that you just tried to swipe his reach into his belt pouch or whatever. He's just gonna try and get away from you and get to something that.
Not now, worry, Flame. Let's run. Let's run.
Yep.
Is there an alleyway we can hide in that's the opposite way that he went?
Sure, you can run the opposite way that he went and look for an alleyway. You have the advantage that some of the fog is still burning off right now, so it's going to be pretty difficult to actually follow you anywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can run a couple blocks down and disappear into an alleyway.
All right.
We
Yep,
do that?
we do that.
Okay. First
Yep.
try, first attempt at getting some breakfast. Didn't go too well. I thought we had some good momentum there.
I'm gonna eat some of my jerky.
Yeah, you just have to.
I just have breakfast.
Yeah.
Is there enough for all of us?
You can have some jerky.
Oh.
There's only 3 days worth of rations. So
Oh, we have 3 days worth of rations?
Yeah.
I have 3 days worth of rations.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to eat in a dark alley. I feel like we're better than this.
Are we?
I mean, look at all this cool gear we have now. I certainly am.
Well, all right. Well, if we don't need to beg or cheat or steal for money, I'm out of ideas.
Well, no, I still think we should do that, but I still think, with the aim of some upward mobility right here.
A couple of guards walk by the alley that you're in. They do seem like they're kind of maybe looking for you or something, but they also seem like they're like just annoyed and bored and not super into their jobs right now. So yeah, they've got torches so you can see them walking by even in the mist. But yeah, they don't really spend a lot of time looking in the alley, and they don't really notice you're there.
They don't hear the soft munching of jerky.
They like
Alright.
slow chew.
Yeah.
Working this jerky.
Does anybody remember what we got up to last night?
Well, Ibiza gave us a brand new concoction of rosé, your special rosé you always try and give to us.
It's balanced my complexion. Look, I am so healthy and rosy now, all over, evenly. In sunlight and in darkness.
Is that how the medicine works?
bioluminescence.
Do you even remember if we got to a part of town and put our stuff anywhere?
I don't even remember where we parked the wagon.
Oh, the wagon.
Oh, yes, we had a wagon. I forgot about that
All my
part.
stuff.
All my
Well,
files.
I know we came from the east. So maybe if we head in towards the eastern gate, we'll be able to find our tracks again.
Okay, I
Or
guess we can do that.
considering, like, I don't know, considering that we have been in Pewter City, consciously for like about 15 minutes, and we've already witnessed one attempted mugging. I don't know if our stuff will still be there. Pewter City seems dangerous.
Seems like a rough town, yeah, definitely. The type of place where you can't walk around late at night.
Last night
Those
really
ruffians.
is a blur. It was a strange time. You did leave the wagon somewhere, but like maybe it was an inn. There was a nice stable hand there, but
Do I remember anything about the
This-
inn?
this
Like a
city's-
logo or a symbol?
I remember
really.
the stable hand was hot.
there's
Yeah.
but it's like you didn't really anticipate coming in because you've been to like a lot of small towns and whatnot.
Yeah.
This city is big. There's all these districts and stuff, so you kind of like maybe assumed that this first like inn that you saw was like the inn, but actually there's like
There
a
was
lot.
better, safer inns.
There's
further in.
quite a few.
We
inns.
jumped on it too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a cart and horses, I guess, that are tied
And a
up.
reservation at an inn somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't remember what that inn was.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, let's start heading in the direction, and maybe something will jog our memory. Better lucky than good, I always say.
Yep.
Well, do we have anything in our stuff to send us in a particular direction? I have something with the number 336 on it.
You have a key, don't you?
Yeah, but I have a key. I have someone's key. This could get us into a house. Maybe as we're going by, if I see a shark symbol. But like, this isn't the key to our room because this isn't my stuff.
But maybe, perhaps, it's a key to someone else's room with money for lunch.
I don't know when I turned to a life of crime, but sure has been tough. Sure.
It was March.
Oh,
We
right.
turned to a life of crime in March.
As I
That was a good
understand it,
month.
there's been quite a lot of crime going on in for the last like while. Okay, well,
right.
you can wander down the road, and as you wander, again, you're like in the one of the poorer parts of town, and so you're seeing the results of urban decay right in your face. Somewhat, you're seeing the results of the fat cats running rampant of huge amounts of wealth inequality that have resulted in a dark and brooding part of the city. This part of the city doesn't even have like lamps. A lot of parts of the city have lamps periodically down the roads, which are lit by some gaslight. You don't have that. You just so you can actually begin to see a little bit more as the dawn comes up and the mists burn off. But what you're seeing is like not super duper pretty.
We should definitely get out of this part of town. I'm pretty sure we would have parked our carriage somewhere more befitting our social classes,
Or at
upper
least-
class elites, or at least pretending to be.
Yeah.
We want to be taking money from upper class elites.
Yeah, we would have parked in the kind of neighborhood where people can afford fortune-telling services.
Yeah.
I feel particularly vulnerable right now, considering I am wearing very nice clothing.
Maybe we could ask a guard for directions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we see another walking patrol?
Sure. If you like wander around for long
Yeah.
enough, you'll see someone.
Hello and good night. We've experienced a terrible fright.
I'm sorry.
We went for a wander. How do I rhyme with wander? Heck.
Over yonder.
Over
and we accidentally found ourselves over yonder.
So where's
We're looking for. We got this key.
We also came from the east and are from a much nicer neighborhood, and due to a series of events, we found ourselves here
By this fence.
by this fence.
Are
Well-
you the fence?
I'm sorry, a fence?
Yeah, this fence right here.
The fence post.
Oh, sorry. I thought you might. No, it's just like
This is a rough neighborhood, as you know, kind guard, and we would love to get out of here.
right. So I don't know. It looks like an inn key. Someone's inn key.
Yes, we need to find our way back to our inn. We've had
Yes.
quite the night, too many drinks, and we want to go home, methinks.
Well, there's a shark on. Oh, you know what? This probably is. There's a land shark place.
Ah, yes, of course.
There's like the land shark inn.
Mm-hmm.
Could
Could you point us in the
gotta be it.
direction?
It's in the art quarter. Art quarter over. No, you know where that is.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, that way, the way you pointed.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you and good night to you. And be safe. I hear there's all kinds of rampant criminals running about.
Yeah. Someone looking for a fence. Fence.
Good night to you.
Yeah.
We are very good at being unsuspicious.
Ooh, the art quarter. That sounds exciting.
Yes. I bet they are gullible and have disposable income.
Ah, our perfect marks.
Yep.
We're searching for patronage. I assume there's some patrons there,
Yeah.
at least of inns.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're headed toward the art district.
Yes.
As you as you pass through, you can see that you're headed toward a nicer part of town, and by asking directions periodically and whatnot, you can find your way there. The city is sort of separated off by interior walls, which more or less are just where the city has, or show you the stages in which the city has grown. So there is you pass one of the interior walls. There's a bit of a checkpoint. The checkpoint doesn't look like it's super well fortified or anything like that. It's just sort of guards standing again in what's becoming the cliche, I guess, looking bored and watching people move through the gates and kind of keeping an eye on any weapons that are moving with them. Eventually, you're able to find your way to the art quarter. This place is much nicer. It's got cobbled streets. We're looking at like probably 7 in the morning by now. By the time you like wander across town a little ways, cobbled streets. A lot of roofs made of tile of various sorts, and one of the most distinctive features is that a lot of the buildings have mosaics on the side of them. So there's
That's the art district.
yeah, there's a lot of like wonderful not mosaics. What is the word I'm looking for? Murals on the side of them. So a lot of great artistry on display here as you move through.
Just as a point of clarity, how large is Pewterhawk City? Are we talking thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? Are we in a Baldur's Gate situation?
So it's the biggest city in the region.
Okay.
So I think that you're looking at, I don't know, like 100,000 people. Maybe?
Okay. In a
Pretty big city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty large. There's a lot of different districts, and also, yeah, as I say, huge rampant wealth inequality.
Nice.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
I mean,
slums
obviously not,
and
but-
this parts
Well,
of town that
this
look
is
like
this
that.
is actually like this is definitely on the higher up end of things for sure. But I wouldn't say that this is where the like daring young aristocrats will come hang out and hire artists and
Okay.
and indulge in their like personal little projects as opposed to like where they would actually live.
So this is where like cool cafes are and
Right.
you know, people throwing pottery and looking youthful and vigorous while they do
Yeah,
so.
before industry took over the town, this was probably like a less wealthy part of it, but then it's been slowly gentrified over time, and
course.
the coolness is getting a little bit kind of bland now, but it is.
Ballard, got
Yeah.
it. I guess it's murals everywhere. It's East Van.
Yeah, almost like East Van.
Okay.
Um,
Ooh.
Perfect for
All
our
those local hot
supply
takes.
of trade.
Yep.
So yeah, and there's definitely the quality of clothing and whatnot improves here. You see more people going around in like pedicabs and some horses and whatnot being tethered at various places. You start asking around here, and you can pretty quickly discover that the guard in the other quarter kind of knew what he was talking about. The place that you're looking for is called the Silver Boulette, and it is
It's a type of shark.
a boulette is a land shark.
Yes.
So it's it's a fairly well-known establishment here.
Okay.
Good.
And no werewolves because it's the silver bullet.
Ah.
So let's just check in really quick. Our plan is now to see if this shark room has some money that we can take, and then we'll, after we've gotten a quick little pick me up, then we'll go and find our stuff.
Yeah, sure. Or abandon our things for a new and more exciting life.
That's true.
Yeah.
What if someone's home?
They wouldn't be able to get in because we have their key.
What a good point.
Unless, they
Now-
had a spare key from the front desk. But we could just knock and, I don't know,
Yeah,
pretend we're room service if it's, and just be, wrong room, sorry.
yeah, we'll cross that bridge
When we
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, in our long history of being thieves since March, I'm sure there have been a couple of opportunities where we've had to improvise, and this will be no different.
Nope.
All right, so you're just like all four of you wandering into
No.
the.
We're not all four going to march up. It's your room key. Does it have the room number on it?
It has a shark, so I'm hoping the rooms are marked via different symbols.
At the very least, I have a number 336.
Ooh,
If they have that many rooms.
I'll try for that.
You know what? Don't even stop to talk to the front desk.
Yeah.
You have a key. You look like you belong here.
As a Shadow Jack, I am very good at moving silently and stealthily through the shadows.
Perfect. We'll just wait here and kill some time in the lobby.
I'm going to try and fly casually, but not look like I'm flying casually.
Okay, so so you're not trying to actually you're trying to basically hide in a crowd, not hide in shadows.
Correct. Yeah, just blend in, right?
Okay, and can you describe to me kind of how you're going about blending in?
So it's the early morning, a lot of people looking kind of bleary.
Yeah, if I describe to you the way that this inn is set up is similar to a lot of other ones in classic medieval D&D campaigns. So you would look in the front door. There's there's a front door. There's a bunch of windows you can see into sort of a common room.
Yeah, it's a table kitchen where people are eating.
Yeah, and then there's a stable off to the side.
Yeah.
Usually there's some attendants there helping people saddle up horses
Yeah.
and whatnot. It's late enough in the day at this point that people commerce has begun, so people are moving in and out of those things. The common room becomes like a general communal sleeping area overnight. So but those
Oh.
people have been kicked awake and made to take their bedrolls
People
off.
who can't afford private rooms.
Right, and then tables have been put out, and so there's going to be people in that front area eating food. There's going to be an ostler around with probably their family or assistants or whatever, helping people get food and drinks and things like that.
So I'll walk in, I'll nod to the person at the desk and smile. I won't go straight for the stairs. I'll kind of walk around the floor thing, do a yawn and stretch and kind of look at breakfast for a bit and joyfully laugh and just kind of mingle about as if I'm waking up for the morning. And then once I've done kind of a pass through, so it doesn't look like I'm just walking past, then I'll circle back and go upstairs. Is this big enough to have a third floor? Does 336 look like the sort of thing that is a good clue to walk towards?
So I'll tell you from the outside, you could see that the building only had 2 floors.
All right, that's a
So,
problem.
And you can see that the way that it's structured, you've got sort of a rectangular common room, and then there's a hallway off of it, and there's some doors on either side of the hallway, just on the main floor. So if you walk through the common room, past the bar and the doorway to the kitchen and whatnot, which are fairly obvious. By the way, there's a big land shark head over the fireplace that is
Cool.
very
Yeah.
just mounted right there on the wall. Land sharks are really big, as big as this room, and very scary. They burrow under the ground and then they pop out.
That's like
and eat
Tremors.
people. Yeah, like Tremors, exactly. So yeah, very. Anyway, there's a big bullet head.
So are you saying if there's the first floor, there would be a third floor if you count the ground floor as one, or there's only a second story?
There's only a second story.
That's a
So
problem.
the ground floor rooms, and then there's a staircase leading up to the second floor. You don't
Okay.
know what's up there, obviously.
Sure. When I'm passing by, can I look at the doors? Do they have numbers or do they have symbols?
They have numbers.
Buttons.
The symbol on your key roughly matches the one above the front door.
So this is likely the correct inn. All right. Well, then, once things get a little bit quieter, I'm going to try and walk upstairs just totally casually, like I belong there. And then if the hallway's empty, I'm going to start very silently trying the room key on all the different rooms.
Okay, so in the way that this is going to tend to work is like if you were wandering around the lower floor, you're going to have like serving staff who are going to try and like approach you and like offer you some food or whatever. You're just trying to like kind of stealthily, not stealthily, but kind of like accidentally happen to move right before they get up to you and okay.
Yeah.
And and then sort of make your way upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can climb up the stairs.
Great.
The hallway is basically empty there. So the stairs come up, and then there's a hall. There's like doorway or doors on either side of it going down, and then it's sort of it looks like it sort of takes an L turn and continues.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start trying doors with the keys.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys up to? Well, he's done sort of a look around the room, and then after a few minutes heads upstairs, just hanging out outside.
I would be checking the horses to see if any of them look familiar.
Okay. So
I'm gonna check stable hands to see if any of them look familiar.
Or cute. Or both.
So the horses don't look familiar. You're not seeing any horses that are out and out yours.
Well, can you imagine if this was also our inn? I can't say that to you in character, but...
As far as stable hands, none of them look familiar. But
Let's see where this is going.
so there's one who is like marginally attractive, kind of skinny, little knobbly of the elbows and wrists and whatnot. But not bad.
Stable hands, fine.
So and you're just watching the door, or are you looking in like?
I'm just hanging around outside the door.
'Kay.
Looking as casual as I can.
Just hanging around outside the door, like right next to the doorway of the inn, kind of going,
Yeah, like I'm waiting to meet someone.
Okay, maybe some like some hi-hats.
I'm not the character who rhymes, thankfully. So.
All right, so you head upstairs. You try the first door. Key does not seem to fit.
Okay.
Are you like being like trying to be Shadow Jackie while you're doing this? Are you?
Sure.
Like, yeah.
That's my class. I'll
Okay.
use my class training.
Right. So if in situations where you're generally like using your abilities, but they're the abilities that you as a character possess, and there's no real consequence for failure, and like it doesn't really seem risky, there's no real role for that. It's just like you kind of just do it.
Yeah, I have the ability to move silently, so I don't want to draw a bunch of attention. And ideally, I don't rattle the key in the door so much that the people inside of the room are like, "Well, that's suspicious."
Yeah, and the I guess what I'm trying to say here is like in the way that this system is structured is I basically just get to decide if you pass or fail a lot of these things.
Okay.
Based on my assessment of your character's abilities. So if someone were to hear you, that would be my decision. If they didn't, that wouldn't be. In situations where there's like overt danger and whatnot involved, that's when we roll dice.
Okay. Okay.
So I think as a Shadow Jack, you're very well set up to do this, to sort of like move from room to room and be as quiet as possible. So you try door number 2, no luck.
Okay. The DM rolling dice suspiciously without saying anything. My favorite. This is going to go well for me.
Okay, so you go up to door number 3. Oh, it does work. Click.
Great.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna walk in like I own the place.
Okay, this room is pretty messy. There's a lot of stuff everywhere. It looks like multiple people have been sleeping in this room. Maybe say around 4 people have been sleeping here.
So they did sleep in the room at one point. So I have 2 questions. Is there currently anyone in the room right now?
There is. Okay, so as you open the door, you are not in the room, and there are no other people in the room that you can see.
Okay.
Is the shower going?
Yeah.
Do they have showers?
This is not so much a suite as a room. In terms of like how the bathroom situation works, there would be like a chamber pot under the bed that would get cleared out in the morning by the
And maybe
staff.
a communal bathtub at the end of the hall or something.
Or you'd put the chamber pot outside. And yeah, for baths, you'd have like a basin brought in, or there would be like a communal bathroom, which is presumably one of the rooms on the bottom floor,
Okay.
so it can drain, right?
And the second question I have is my impression of the mess that they are literally in the lobby right now eating, or they went out for the night and haven't come back?
It's probably more the latter. They don't seem like the cleanest people.
Okay.
And there's some like toiletries and other possessions kind of tossed around. But it doesn't look like they left much of their day-to-day gear.
Okay. I'm going to close the door and lock it.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to walk outside and get these 3.
Okay. So you close the door, and you see there's another person in the hallway, and as you like close the door and turn away, you see that he's like, and puts his hand back under his coat, and continues walking past you, or continues walking as if to pass you.
Well, my Shadow Jack senses are tingling. With one hand, I'm going to go like, good morning. And with my other hand, I'm going to put my finger on the trigger of the shotgun, but it's hidden under my large bear cloak. Okay. And I'm going to go start to walk past them as well. So we're both going to be smiling and pretending with one hand hidden, I'm assuming.
I forgot you were wearing the giant bear.
I'm wearing a giant bear cloak, yeah.
Well, you were
I'm
inconspicuous.
going to hold it up like a big jolly friend. It's like, come on, come up with a rhyme, Serge. Come up with a rhyme.
For what?
I don't know. Breakfast, morning.
You let him go with a warning.
Ooh, I like that. All right. I see you're having a good morning. Maybe this one time we leave with a warning.
But that seems menacing though in this situation. What about time to get some eggs for my legs?
Please, your character enunciates. Sorry, what was that?
I gave up on it before it came out. It was terrible.
Okay.
I think we both know what's going on.
So you're both walking in opposite directions.
I think we're walking towards each other or away from each other?
You're walking in opposite directions, passing each other.
Yeah.
Is your intent to be like, if he makes a hostile move, I'm shooting him?
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least I'll put the shotgun into them and be like, all right, one more. We're going to have a question here. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to shoot them immediately. There's some room for negotiation, but I am armed and ready.
Okay. So this is like kind of going to go along with your decision-making process, but I'm not totally sure how, so I'm going to make an initiative roll happen here.
All right.
Because as he walks by you, he's going to trip and run into you. And he's going to run into you with a dagger. So...
Oh.
Did you put the chain shirt on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's roll some initiative to see if you are able to...
Sure, do a
sort
thing
of
first.
Preempt that, because it's obvious you're waiting for him to do something, and he's just sort of like going to get
Also
like,
waiting for me to do things.
Well, no, he's actually just trying to get like as close to you as possible before he goes ugh, and stabs a dagger into your guts.
All right, I don't want to be stabbed.
So
How do we roll initiative?
we roll a d6 each, and
Okay.
whoever gets the higher roll wins. Can I steal one of these?
Oh,
Classic
Yeah, go for it.
50-50.
Go, Surge.
I
We
rolled a
aren't here to
4.
save you.
No! Jer rolled a 5. Now, and there's no bonus to dexterity or anything like that?
No. It's
All
just
right,
it's
so...
just straight up. Okay, so he's going to make an attack roll on you.
Okay.
With a dagger.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do for this is I'm rolling 2d6s.
Yeah.
And I am trying to beat your defense.
Okay.
Now, your defense is 6 plus 1 if you're wearing armor,
Yeah.
which you are, and plus another 1 if you are carrying a shield, which you are not. So that's a 7.
And chain shirt plus large cloak, that counts as armor. It doesn't count as 2 layers of armor?
You know what? We call it heavy armor. So
Okay.
that's plus 2 instead of plus 1.
Fantastic.
Okay, so that's a 9 on your or sorry, 8 for your defense total,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
I accept.
I have a 7.
All right.
So he like trips into you, bumps you, and you feel like a go up into that chain shirt, but your chain shirt seems to have stopped it. But definitely, that would is something that I would call hostile action.
All right. Think of a cool rhyme. Now listen here, lad. That wasn't fun. Sorry to say that I have a gun.
Great.
And I that was pretty hostile. There's no talking here. I guess I put a shotgun and shoot.
Okay, so the way that I'm gonna say guns work is like it doesn't matter what armor he's wearing.
Okay.
It really doesn't. But go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
So
first.
2d6.
Yep.
I roll a 10.
Okay.
I
so,
have a shotgun.
Yep, and you don't have a +1 to attack, so that's just a straight 10.
Okay.
He is, yeah. So he is going to take this in the gut. Now, the way that damage typically works in Maze Rats is it's the difference between the target's defense and your attack roll, which in this case would be 10. But because you're attacking him at point blank range with a shotgun, I'm just going to double the damage and say that you put a hole in him.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a splatter of blood and buckshot against the back wall, and a very loud noise for anyone who is downstairs.
Yep.
And
Person I was waiting to meet.
and he falls over on the floor, and the inn panics. The people get under under tables, duck down behind bars, doors slam closed. People out in the yard get pretty anxious. Folks are going to start to like run outside and yell for guards and other such things.
Okay, I guess I'm going to run inside.
I run over to Ibiza and go, "What did you do?"
I was standing here. I was waiting for something. I guess this is what I was waiting for.
I'm going to go hide in the room.
Okay, sure. Just like run into the room and close the door?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then if I can, I'm going to go to the window, and hopefully it's a window that faces their side, and try and like...
Okay.
We're at the front, so...
Am I facing the front or no?
I guess there's like a 1 in 4 chance.
1 in 4.
Sure.
Oh my god!
Okay, so you guys are outside in the front, maybe at the side if you're at the stable, and Frederick like shows up at one of the windows and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Psst. Somebody tried to stab
They're
me.
not going to be able to hear you. You're on the second floor, and there's a panicking inn
Oh,
below
oh.
you. But you can gesture all you want.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm okay.
What? It's not okay! So the people are screaming. There was a gunshot!
Frederick, what did you do?
So you guys are yelling up at the second floor window.
I am angry.
Chill! Be chill!
I don't know how.
I'm gonna
The
close
gun
the
just
window.
went off. How could we be chill at a time like this?
Okay, so Frederick pantomimes wildly in the window and then slams it shut, while the rest of you pantomime wildly back at him and also yell. Yeah, all right.
All right. Did we go help him?
Has everybody run out of the inn?
There's some people who have run out. Mostly, it just seems like if you're looking in the door or the windows, that people are like kind of hiding and trying to assess the situation. It's not like it's not uncommon that there would be a gunfight that happened in the streets. It's a little bit less likely in an inn. And you know, if people are like angry at each other and want to like pull a little Christopher Marlowe action, and you know, that can happen in a private inn room sometimes. But yeah, it's a little unusual, and people want to just make sure that they're safe. So if you're watching, people are going to start to like 1 or 2 brave souls are going to start climbing the stairs with their guns out, just to sort of assess the situation.
You know what? I'm
upstairs.
going to also assess the situation with them.
All right.
And I am as well with the bow ready because I have a ranged bow. And
Yeah,
I know I cannot be pinned
We're helping.
for the gunshot because a bow does not do buckshot.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm a helper.
I'm going to follow them. You know what? No, I'm going to stay outside by the window in case I need to catch him.
Because you are the best person here.
To
The
catch.
best halfling here.
I am not going to leave my friend to jump out of a window on his own.
Yeah, fair.
You can string some bed sheets together.
Very quickly, in my background as a shadow jack, Is there an obvious bag of money on a table? Just putting the question out there. Some jewels, maybe a golden chest or something as I scan the room.
Okay, so there's like a bunch of there's like some papers and notes and things like that on a desk that are sort of just out, and next to them, sure, there's like there's like a few coins out on the desk, and if you look around, there's like various like pairs of pants and things like that on the ground. You could maybe like shake those down to try and find if anything's got left in the pockets or whatnot.
Okay, I'm going to try and use every little bit of Shadowjack I have.
Yep.
I'm going to take all of the money and notes and put them in the bag.
Yep.
Then I'm going to take the shotgun and the shells
Yep.
and hide them under the bed.
Okay.
Then I'm going to leave the room and be like, oh my God, what happened? There was a gunshot.
Okay. So so you're coming out into the hallway just as you guys are coming up the stairs, and running up the stairs. Yeah, there is a dead body on the ground, and there's a lot of blood on the wall, and there's a lot of blood all over the ground.
Oh my God, there's been a murder.
And chunks, and there's Frederick going, oh no, my pearls! Someone has been killed, there's no like, is it? And the other folks are like sort of like going over to look at the body and like keeping an eye on. Like actually, as you run out the door, you're gonna get a couple of like big army revolvers in your face. Like, who are you? What are you doing up here?
I was staying in this room. I heard a loud noise and I came out to investigate.
Who shot this guy?
I don't know, but I heard a loud shouting argument in the hallway and some people scuffled away.
Jesus. Ugh.
Did anybody run downstairs after?
Doesn't look like anyone's here. Maybe they ran out the window. Maybe they ran out a window.
Maybe they ran out a window.
So the other guys who came up are gonna like go around the corner. Remember, there's like an L corner here.
Okay.
They're gonna go around the corner to see if there's like somewhere that the guy could have gone, and they're going cautiously, right?
Okay.
Like,
I'm gonna, if they're walking away, I'm gonna look at these two and be like, and start walking down the stairs.
okay. So yeah, you can like step over the body and
Walking
then.
by, I'm gonna try and look down really quick. Can you describe this person?
Please.
So he's got some studded leather armor on. He is dressed in largely black. He has he's got a green scarf around his neck, and he's got quite a few tattoos on like up his face, and you can see some on like his exposed hands as well.
Anything suspicious, like a gang sign, like a snake or a spider?
Any animals?
Yeah.
So these guys are like down at the end of the hall. So like
just really
at least,
quick glance,
At
just-
least for the moment, you could kneel down and like start looking for stuff like that, but you don't.
Probably too suspicious.
Yeah.
He does have a dagger in his hand, which has some goopy goop on it. That might be interesting to note.
Is it perhaps a vial of odorless red-colored goopy goop?
It's odorless. It's not making a big smell.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the dagger down there, and I think it's fine.
Okay. So all three of you are headed downstairs. Okay. So immediately, as soon as you get downstairs, there's again a bunch of guns in your face.
Like, whoa, we're just coming out of our room. Somebody died up there. The guards are looking for them. We just want to get out while it's. We don't want to die.
The guards? Did you see guards? We're still waiting on the guards.
There's like 2 or 3 guards up there. They also have guns.
They were actually just random people.
Oh, I guess those are just random people acting vigilante. Are you the guards? Go! Apparently he's looking outside a window.
Okay, so like people are gonna like let you by.
Okay.
No one here is actually a guard yet. The guards have not shown up.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was just like some courageous people with guns who decided to
first
see what was going.
responders.
Decided to see what was going on up there.
Sure.
But yeah, so people are gonna let you by.
Yeah.
And if you want to leave, that's something that you can probably do.
Okay.
Let's leave immediately
Let's
and
leave
never come
immediately.
back here.
Yeah. But grab Judith. Find another alley to hide in.
What the hell?
I'll tell you later. Let's go.
Wait, is there some place where I could get like a poached egg on toast around this
No,
district?
there's this inn that is called the Silver Bullet.
Okay, is there some place that's not an inn
Yeah.
where a murder just occurred?
Sure. This is a good place for.
Is there another non-murder restaurant?
So this is a good place for fancy tea shops and coffee and things like that, and maybe like an absinthe bar, would probably show up here too.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want anything that is anything like that, it probably has fancy murals on the side of it, because that's sort of the thing for this quarter. You see that the tiles, speaking of mosaics that I was talking about earlier, the tiles in the ground actually form mosaics where you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, trees are planted in artful ways. There's still a ton of people who are freaking out over there at the Silver Bullet, but as you walk down the road a few blocks, being as inconspicuous as possible, you can. I wonder how much blood you actually have all over you
Hopefully
right now.
not a lot. Hopefully it went
I'm
that
sort of
way,
assuming
not
that it
back
was
this
mostly
way.
sprayed away
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, see, as you walk away looking as inconspicuous as possible, yeah, it is a nice place. You can probably find a nice tea house or whatnot. Frederick, you were able to find
Oh, good. I was wondering how much money we had. Ooh.
that many silver pieces.
Wow, that's a lot. That is 16 pieces of silver.
Yeah.
And we said one piece of silver is like a $20 bill?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right.
Wow.
Ooh. I mean, to be fair, in this neighborhood, I think the poached egg on toast is probably going to cost a silver around this part.
Yeah, you're basically right.
Yeah.
And I tell the group, maybe let's not eat anything that requires water.
Oh, I bet in this neighborhood the water's probably fine though. They probably bring it in.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple pieces of information. One, don't know why, don't know what we got up to last night. Somebody just tried to stab me.
Well, they might have been trying to stab the occupant of that room. Or they
Oh,
might have
good
been
point.
coming
Didn't think
to
of that.
stab somebody else and just was like, oh, I've been seen.
Did you find anything beside this silver in the room?
I was gonna get to that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
While I was in the room, I got some money. I also found some notes, and as our information broker, you're the expert at diagnosing this stuff, so I'll pass all the notes to Erica, to Judith, and be like, maybe over brunch you could read over these and see if it's worth anything. Does anybody remember anything from last night?
No.
Why would somebody try and kill me?
Maybe we were very
Have you
rude
seen
to
me?
them.
I'm so friendly.
I mean, you're in a bear cloak right now. How are they supposed to know? It's an intimidating piece of apparel.
Yeah.
It says I've killed at least one bear. Step to it.
So you raise an interesting point, though. Was it us they were after, or was it the occupants of the room? The room did look like it had 4 people in it. Those 4 people could have been us. Honestly, everything last night was a blur.
But do these documents have our names on them?
I don't know. I haven't read them.
I haven't either.
If they're not our documents, I have a strong suspicion that wasn't our room.
Yeah.
Let's order some avocado toast and look it over.
During the brunch, I guess, can I also keep a lookout for, or ask the cashier person, do you know any wizards that could read this book for me and do a diagnostic?
All right. So first of all, brunch at the Scintillating Spur
Ooh, good name.
will cost you 1 silver each.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
I got it. Brunch is on me, friends. Trying to act like we
Can we
belong
get
in
a
neighborhood.
private table with like a booth in the back?
Ooh.
Sure, but you'll have to pay an extra silver on top of that.
Oh my god. No, it's probably.
What are we made of money?
Yeah.
What's talking whispers?
The proprietor, who is a middle-aged lady, brings over your tea. She's got elaborate china. Gives you your tea in a wonderful cup, and they've got you've got your own little sugar and all the water. All the water is boiled, so you don't need to worry about anything. The strange sickness is not a problem here. That's with the lake water, it's not a problem here. All the water is boiled, so everything is fine.
Is it a problem elsewhere in the city?
Certainly not. It's certainly not anywhere that is worth going. The docks have some problems. The puddles, the parts of town where people are maybe a little bit less fortunate. That is where you would. But everywhere, I mean, it's just the people who are not who don't they don't have enough forethought to boil their water and treat things with the amount of sanitation that is necessary.
Were there any calls for scientists that might come in from the outer regions to try and solve the water problem
Certainly,
locally?
there are some notable alchemists who come door to door in many cases, selling serums that can be used to purify water without even boiling it.
Out of curiosity, what part of town would they typically stay in?
Well, they could be here. They could. They sometimes, depending, some of the important families have private alchemists who would be able to
Well,
provide that
we might want to
service.
recruit our own private alchemist, so we want to know where we could go find one.
Yes. Well, certainly here. There's also if you were to go to the tomes. The tomes. There are. That's where the academics are from. So if you wanted to hire someone straight out of college, that's probably where you would go.
Now I'm feeling an omen. And from the east. If I was looking specifically for alchemists, perhaps from the east, where would they stay in town? I speak with the stars a lot. I'm sure you could
I'm
understand.
afraid I'm not sure, son. I don't know very much about those strange folk who live in the barrens outside the city.
Okay.
As far as I know, that there's not really much of worth there.
That's fine.
But maybe if you were looking for a specific Easterner, you could talk to the guards. Maybe the guards picked them up. Maybe they were up to some trouble. As I understand, people who live in the wastes outside the city sometimes.
Oh, they're barbarians.
Barbarians,
Yeah, I understand.
It's very unfortunate. To answer your question, I would probably go to the Sisterhood of the Silver Moon. The wizards. Who's wearing the hat?
Me.
Oh, in fact, are you a member?
Oh,
you've.
I am, but I'm fairly new. The tome he's got it's far beyond me.
Oh,
we were looking for some cross guild cooperation.
Well, congratulations on your enrollment. My daughter
thank you.
daughter is also. Maybe you've met her.
Oh, what's her name?
Her name is Lucille. She's a low-ranking journeyman. She's going into the second semester of her second year. We're all so proud of her.
She got like the brown hair.
No, she's blonde.
Blonde?
She's
Oh, blonde Lucille. Yeah. No, I know the one you're talking about now.
I'll leave you to your to your brunch. Do let me know if there's anything else that I can help you with. I can tell you are you
We recently moved into the city and we're just getting our feet down.
Yeah. Well,
our friends enrolled there, and we're looking, with the epidemic happening, we're looking to maybe hire a private alchemist to help treat the water for us.
I see. Yes, the bear. I sort of assumed that you were not from this quarter. That didn't look like something that was made by one of our crafters.
Oh, it's very good. It's very good. I killed it myself.
It's a very interesting style.
Yeah.
This area has a lot of heritage. I'm sure if you wanted to find some more fashionable clothing, you would be able to find it here. We have a long history of great artists.
And Oriflamme is getting a little miffed at the decadent clothing that he is wearing, getting pushed aside as being unfashionable at that.
I think it's the bear cloak, though.
Yeah.
She's mostly talking about the bear cloak.
Yeah, the other clothing I have is described as antique. So I'm already wearing antiquated clothing, and then I have chainmail and a bear cloak on top of it, and I have a giant two-handed axe. So I look like an old-school barbarian fortune teller
And
that speaks in rhyme.
Your shirt has been stabbed, and you haven't even looked to
Oh,
clean it up.
it just hit the chainmail. It's fine. It bounced off the chainmail. All right. Well, the morning was a crunch. If you wouldn't mind, we'll start off with brunch.
So she heads off.
All right, let's look at them notes.
Yeah, Judith, what do we got?
Okay, so Judith has been looking at the notes, flipping pages, and it looks like from the rest of your perspective, it's just like tables and charts and tables and charts, and it's not that interesting. So there's basically what you've been given is some meticulous notes that are basically like giving times and dates, and then saying like 2 guards, 3 guards, 2 guards. Shift change.
As professional criminals, I'm sure we can decipher what this means.
That definitely sounds like someone was casing a joint.
Yeah, so that's more or less what it looks like.
Yeah.
And there's also a column that says that has like money in, delivery out.
A bank.
Or a store.
Or a mine?
Well, it could also be the docks.
Anywhere with any sort of delivery.
Yeah.
Money in, delivery out.
Is there any
it's
specific kind of delivery note of what is being delivered?
No.
Is it just say delivery? Yes.
But there are like listings in terms of barrels. So it's like delivery out 4 barrels, delivery out 6 barrels, kind of thing. It looks like the amount of barrels has been increasing recently. And the pattern seems to be that money in happens 2 days before delivery out, and the money in and delivery out are always basically listed at around midnight on their associated days, and the complement of guards going through shift changes and whatnot between those two times is increased.
Okay, so there's more guards while there's money there before the delivery has gone out. Or like, did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's more,
okay.
It's like, so there's the money in, and there's more guards, and then delivery out, and the guards decrease again.
Okay.
Because there's nothing for them to go.
So they're shipping something in barrels, which usually means a liquid.
Either water or
It's water.
wine.
They already talked about boiling the water here.
Yeah, they could be selling, they could be...
And all the nearby towns with the damming their rivers and shipping in fresh water.
Yeah.
But why would they be shipping out the water from here?
We don't know if it's in or out though.
We just
out.
But it could be
Well,
delivery out
oh.
from, like they receive it and then
Yeah.
deliver it out to other parts in the town from it, right?
Yeah.
Without the context of how the business works, out could be relative.
Fair.
Okay, so we're no closer, A, to finding out why somebody stabbed me, or B, to finding our stuff.
Well, yeah, but we found some more interesting stuff. So you got a key with a shark butt on it. No, a shark on the butt.
Correct.
And
And when I went into the room, somebody tried to kill me.
but now we got some notes. So we sort of figured out what your person was doing. Now you have a note that says 336. Does that mean anything to those notes that you're looking at?
Does
Time,
it make any...
Time 336 does not feature
Okay.
in them, but there's more to that note than.
It says nothing ventured as well.
Yeah.
And it is in red ink.
So does that look like a business card or something?
It looks a lot like a business card or something.
Okay.
It is like a piece of card, maybe about this big, with like an impression made on it.
Of a seal of some sort.
yeah.
What is in the seal?
It's mostly like ornamental squiggly lines. So it's like, if you can imagine like a circle, and the top hemisphere is nothing, and then the bottom hemisphere is gained, and maybe it's got like a squiggly line in between, and it's like it's debossed into the card. So it's not like sealing wax kind of thing. It's more just like someone has used a press to press it so that you can tell it's official, that it came from where it.
Hey, excuse me, server.
So she's over. She's over, and she seems to be shooing someone away from it, or trying to do something with someone at a table on the other end of the tea house. She's like, there's a person who is like furiously doing, like, writing something, looks like, and she's trying to get him to leave. And he's like barely looking at her, and eventually she's just a moment, dear. I'll be right there. And she's sort of like gesturing to some other people, and they kind of get up and go over, and they pick him up, like sort of grab him by the arms, and he's still like trying to draw or write or whatever, and after they picked him up, she comes over to you as he's sort of like being like escorted out of the establishment.
Were you okay there? What was that?
Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine, dear. It's just a young man he's a very talented artist, actually, but he's just had a tough time recently. So yes, he's done some of the murals on some of the buildings nearby. I can point them out to you if you'd be interested. The Breaching Mermaid was his one of his masterworks. Yeah.
So when we were moving here, a friend of mine gave me a recommendation for a business, and as we were traveling, I forgot it. Does this seem familiar at all? And I gesture to the card you have with the slogan and the seal.
The embossment of it. Specifically, I'm trying to maybe show the embossment, but not what's on the card.
Oh, not to me. We really don't deal with that kind of folk in this part of town. You would have to go back to the puddles or something like that to find folk who are in that business.
What kind of business?
It's a pawn token, dear.
Is it?
Oh. Oh, right, of course. I just completely misunderstood what my friend was talking about. And interesting, of course. No, of course we wouldn't meddle with those peasants.
Yeah.
Yes, it's unfortunate when some
Of course,
are
you
down
hit
on
on
their
hard
luck.
times. I
She
understand.
looks back at the guy who has at the doorway where the guy was. When people are down on their luck and they fall
Yeah.
from grace and they need to resort to such things, but
Yeah.
of course it's something that happens.
Sure. Well, we'll take our check, please. Thank you.
Okay, so she can settle you up and get you on your way.
When she walks away, don't want to just
No.
No.
We just pay and we
Okay.
leave.
I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Can we ask somebody else what the name of that artist was and what he was and, like try to investigate what he was writing down?
I mean, you can if you want, you can sort of like swing by his table, which is now being like cleaned up by someone. His name was Oliver Hrim.
Oliver Him.
Okay.
And people again can tell you that he's a talented young artist who has done a lot of works that have been shown in various places around town and even beyond. He's thought of as one of the artists to follow, and it's unfortunate that he's fallen on hard times, as people say. The table has a lot of very precise geometric shapes.
Wait, just like the
drawn-
geometric shapes that people were drawing on the walls of the drunk tank?
Very similar. Like if you can imagine someone trying to draw like a Mandelbrot set, but like with very distinct etched polygon shapes within it, like just repeating sequences of such things.
There's no chance that the top of the table is just lined with paper, is there?
No, he was actually like drawing it it looks like he may have started on a piece of paper and then sort of just moved off the edge of the piece of paper onto the table
Is
itself.
the piece of paper still around here?
The piece of paper is, yeah, sure.
Great, I'm going to grab that paper.
Someone just swept it onto the floor or something, so yeah, you can grab it.
Yoink.
Does it at all look like that chemistry you do?
No, I don't think so.
No, this looks, yeah, again, just like repeated patterns all over the place.
Can we go? Yeah, let's go and try and find Oliver. We can
Oliver
see.
Him?
Yeah, let's see what he's on about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
we just go outside, see if he's probably lying around somewhere.
He's not lying around. You can, after like looking either way down the street, yeah, he's sort of just wandering away.
Okay. Hey, Oliver. Hey.
Do I know you?
Not yet. My name's Judith.
Hello, Judith. Yes, I am Oliver. How can I help you?
Need a mural.
Oh, well, you may know that I am the creator of the Breaching Mermaid, among other. So
It's
you're
a
noticing Oliver. He's got like he's got ticking a lot and sniffing quite a bit, and he's got like his eyes look really yellow, like jaundiced yellow.
You did this. Can I grab
Yeah.
the sheet? And it's like, you did this, and I wanted it on my house.
You want that?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, what does it mean?
it's
I want to know your process.
look, look, I'm really sorry. I'm having a tough time, and I'm not sure who sent you, but I am totally. I have resolved that I'm gonna do better, and I don't need to. You can tell whoever it was, whether it was Mr. Mr. Hawk or Mr. Lambert, that I'm gonna be fine.
Listen.
And you, in fact, if you cannot talk about this, I've got.
Listen, I know.
Look, I
know,
will buy the piece of paper off of you, and
How much?
5 silver.
Okay, no. First of all, I know you're trying your best. You're doing real well. It's everybody slips up every now and again. It's normal. It's listen. If you just tell us where you get your stuff, we can remove you know what? Sometimes removing the temptation is the best way to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
We could take care of that problem for you.
Okay. Yeah. So you just want me to tell you where I get my stuff, and you'll give me the paper,
Yep.
and we'll never talk about this again.
Between you, me, and God.
Okay.
And these three. But mostly you, me, and God.
Okay. Sorry, I need to consult a note
Ooh,
for a second.
blackmailer background's coming in handy here.
I was thinking it'd be a good idea for like me and someone else to stand back in case, just so that we don't associate everyone with this if it fails.
So the black boot. It is in Uptown. You've got to go around behind the Golden Corral and down the alley a little ways, and then there's an unmarked door. If there is a red flame illuminated, then in the lantern outside the door, then they are open. You want to ask for Smee.
How do you spell that?
S-M-E-E.
Smee, okay.
He's a dealer in both senses. So
Okay,
you've got
yeah.
to get to his table,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you play the game, and he'll hook you up.
Great, perfect. Smee, Red Flame, Golden Corral, Uptown, Black Boot.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
And we never talk about this again. This doesn't get back to anyone.
Not Mr. Hawk, not Mr.
Not Lambert.
Not Lambert.
No one.
No one.
All right.
Good luck. Stay.
Okay,
Watch out for yourself.
He kind of like looks over his shoulder at you as he wanders off.
All right. Well, I got some line on some drugs. If we want to get rid of some of that silver.
So, Mr. Hawk and Lambert, it seems like this young man leaving us down the street over there did not want to disappoint them, so they may be the more upstanding and rich type.
They might be his patrons.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the option to go to the pawn shop and see what this ticket is for,
We probably shouldn't wait too long.
in case someone else
considering
buys it.
Someone else buys it.
Yes. Also, I'm guessing if we're going to check out the dealer, he's open late.
Why would we want drugs? Obvious reasons aside,
It might be what is in those barrels.
is drugs.
They're valuable,
They're
as our
valuable.
chemist knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's... Okay, I think pawn shop first.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Let's go check that.
I spent 4 silver.
On the way to the pawn shop, can I keep an eye out for anywhere that looks like a wizard is there?
Look for any other of these hats.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You're going to go back down to the puddles, and on your way, again, you're passing through this part of town. You're eventually going to see someone with a purple hat with silver moons on it, which you know is an indicator of someone in the Sisterhood of the Silver Moons, i.e. a wizard.
I'm going to take the hat off for this part.
All that you see when you're like,
Just whip.
What was that name?
Don't remember. She was blonde.
she was blonde. Cynthia?
Eloise? Lucille.
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 Blonde Lucille.
Blonde Lucille.
Blonde Lucille.
She's young, so maybe not the best contact, but might be somebody they know.
Maybe. I walk over to them and flag them down
Yep.
and ask them
Oh,
gingerly.
friend, is there a spell that I can cast for you?
Actually, I was wondering if you could do a diagnostic, just a quick one, or if you know someone, with this tome that I have.
This doesn't really fall under our normal fee structure for wizard services. However, I might be able to make an exception for you. There's quite a bit of red tape to go through, however. I'll need to make sure that I clear it with my superiors. We'll have to have you fill out some paperwork. There is a due process that must be involved to enact any wizarding service, as you understand. And while I can borrow one of the library books for a certain fee, of which you would pay most. Or, no, wait, for a certain fee, of which I would take a cut, and that is the normal way that we transact business. To look at your book, it's a little bit of a corner case, so we might need to come to a special arrangement.
I was just doing it as a bit of a favor for a friend of a friend, Lucille, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she's one of your order, and a friend of hers needs help. Seeing how valuable this book is.
I see. Well, let me see the book.
And I hand it over.
All right. Well, yes.
She wants to see if it's worth her time and as an investment in her development of her craft.
Well, it is a copy of Balthasar's Casement Cacophony.
Okay, thank you.
So it will open all the locked portals, casements, etc. Anywhere within about a, I don't know, 10-yard radius
Oh,
when cast.
I wonder why that friend of hers had this book in the first place.
It does seem like a suspicious book to have.
I am going to go back to her and tell her that she needs to find new friends. Thank you for your assistance. Is there anything that we could do for you?
A tip?
What scale of tip?
Well, I was going to think that the charge for this would maybe be a gold piece.
Oh, that was...
How many silvers are in a gold piece?
10.
10? Okay.
Oh.
We have
How about
11?
12.
12?
How about we tip her a silver and act like that's normal and just peace out quickly.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay, she kind of scowls at you on your way out, but
Yeah.
I mean, she's not gonna,
She's not gonna be like, I went under the table. You didn't under the table.
This was an
enough.
off-book service, so
Yeah.
she was gonna get what she could get.
Yeah.
So that is 10 meters of
Everything unlocks.
unlocking, yes.
We need to hire a nefarious wizard to cast that spell for us.
Yeah.
Well, they can read books, can't they?
I can read books. Can't do anything with them.
I am not a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
We can't use it. But somebody else, we could hire someone possibly.
Out of meta curiosity, did I coincidentally level up when I shotgunned somebody and now I'm a wizard?
No.
It was worth checking. Can't
Sorry,
cast
friend.
it. Pawn shop?
Pawn shop.
Pawn shop.
Okay. So yeah, you're eventually again traveling back through town into one of the poorer districts, but not like the docks, which is the poor district. Able to find your way to the Nothing Ventured Pawn Shop, and
Good name.
there's a lot of pawn shoppy things around. A lot of like nicer watches. Quite a few weapons on display. Looks like he might even have some guns. A number of antique-looking books. Yeah, and then so you go in the door. There's a bell above it that rings, and the man at the counter at the back he's got his like jeweler's loop on, and he's looking at something that he discreetly slides under the counter as some or all of you wander in the door. Who's going in there?
I'll go in. Yeah.
So I'll give you the ticket then.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
So it's just you?
I think we're.
I walk in expecting everybody else to follow me, and then I'm just by myself.
yeah.
I don't think there's a reason not to follow in.
All right.
I'll look at the wares inconspicuously.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yes.
Hey, I'm here to pick up my thing.
This. Yes. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it was. I want it back.
Do you?
Yes.
I see. Well, the item, I will fetch the item in question for you.
Thank you.
He goes into a back room, comes back out. He's got another big book.
Ah.
Dang it.
So this is the item in question. I will need back the copy of Balthazar's Casement Cacophony, which was the item it was used to pay for.
Oh, yeah, my buddy's over there scaring it.
Do we want to give that up?
Yeah, because that
None of us can use it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but none of us can use this either. What does this thing do?
I don't know. We won't know until we get it back.
As the original owner of the item, I am sure you know exactly what it does.
I do.
Yes, he puts his hand on top of it. It will be an additional 2 gold service charge to reverse the previous transaction.
We don't.
I don't want it that badly.
All right, then. Takes it back.
I just felt, bit of buyer's remorse, been holding it again. It's just like, no, there's a reason I got rid of it.
Please let me know if there's anything else that strikes your fancy.
I will do.
Puts it below the counter.
This guy is a dealer of antiques, then.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I might wander over and be like, I actually found a very interesting coin that I received in an inheritance from my dearly departed Aunt Euphemia. And I slide a brass coin to the hole in its center, depicting a snake spiraled from inside to out. And does he react to this in any way?
Oh, your dearly departed Aunt Euphemia was obviously quite fortunate. Yes, I would take this.
Could you identify it for me? I was received inheritance with no information. It was Aunt Euphemia saw this. Aunt Euphemia always thought that you should have this.
Oh,
and I don't know what it is, or why she'd want me to have it.
She was always a woman of mystery.
I'll miss old Euphemia.
Obviously, it is a relic of the Serpentine Empire that existed somewhat to the north, some number of centuries ago, and was chased underneath the waves by your very people. Your Aunt Euphemia is not unlikely to have such a thing in her collection. But while these are interesting, they are not overly valuable. So they will pay for the transaction, but nothing beyond that.
Transaction of that book?
Yeah.
But then we swap one book for another.
Nah, hold on to the coin. You keep that. That's your only remaining link to your dear Aunt Euphemia, who I only met once, but seemed cryptic.
She was a real mystery. Is there a museum around or anything in this town where I could learn more about their... more about this probably important plot?
Well...
What if the coin isn't important, but the book is?
But then we are still swapping one book for another, right?
Certainly,
we have to pay
one
to
book,
translate
but
it.
one book could be a plot book. We don't know if it's a spell book.
We probably have the plot book.
Do we have the plot book? What if the other one's the plot book?
Well, but here's the thing. Everybody, like, these people...
We are having this discussion outside.
So his chuckle was diegetic. There are no museums in this part of the city, of course.
Right.
I would suspect that if you go back to your elven lands, there might be some histories of this fortuitous event. So, as elves, you've never heard of this mass slaughter of serpent people and driving them away that apparently took place in the elven lands at some point. This seems very not in keeping with the histories that you've heard.
So he's trying to undersell us on something that is more valuable, I'm thinking.
Oh, probably. I mean,
Or
he's probably not an honest
The
person.
history you learned in school was woefully inadequate.
I mean, it's probably both.
Yeah.
Commentary.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Do return if you wish to transact business.
Was there anything else that the two of us that weren't actively talking with the person just kind of glanced over in the store that seemed particularly interesting to us?
So this is the kind I'll just, given your line of work, this is a pawn shop, but it's also probably a fence. In the sense that you didn't mean earlier. So it looks like potentially a lot of the stuff that comes through this place is acquired in less than reputable ways.
Used goods.
Used goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So why don't we want the other book?
Because they went to a lot of work of like trading it to like they traded, they pawned whatever other book that he has to get this book, right? They're watching something where shipments are coming in and out, and then they're like taking note of when like, so this is a spell for unlocking doors and vaults and probably other things.
But we can't use it. But we don't know what anything is, and maybe there's context in the other book.
No, it's probably it's going to be another magical spell book, right? Like that was the implication.
We would
Was
also,
that the implication? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a different magic book.
Okay.
We would also need to pay another person to translate it.
Yes, and we need to pay 2 gold to get it on.
Sure.
top.
If we are collectively understanding it's just a spell that we don't need, that's fine.
Yeah.
My baby gamer brain was like, ooh, video game. We need to trade the things we started with for the thing we don't have.
But this is the thing they started with and traded for.
Yes, but it's information we don't have.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's where I'm coming from. Is that's a piece of the puzzle that we previously didn't have. If we started with a coin and we started with a book, and then there's a piece that's over here that we could take for and get, maybe that helps solve the puzzle in a way that we don't have. Because sure, we might have crime information for a location and a spell we can't use, but what do we use that with?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Do it a little bit in voice. What if we gave this ticket to someone and said, please ask the pawn shop, what is the item that this ticket is for? I was told that it was interesting in the trade that I ply. I'd like to learn more and perhaps do a commerce. Because they would not turn down a commerce, I believe, in this part of town. It seems like they need more of it.
It would be pretty suspicious if somebody who wasn't us came in like 5 minutes later.
Immediately with the
complaining.
ticket, it's just like,
Yeah.
But if we put some blood on them, then it probably wouldn't arouse any. Like, let's get some sausage and just like gore them up a bit, and then have them come in 5 minutes later. It's like, I got this claim ticket. He's probably not going to ask questions.
Or perhaps just wait a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever it takes.
The problem is that we would probably have to pay whoever we're roping into this, and we've got only 10 silver.
We would have to pay them.
Oh, sorry.
We would have to pay them less than 2 gold. Or the special silver. Was it silver?
It's a brass coin. It's a brass
Brass.
coin with a hole in its center depicting a snake spiraled from inside to out.
We might be able to pay them off with a couple silver for a quick, easy task.
Okay.
So our suggested next step is to wait a night and have somebody go in and find out info on the book that we could literally just buy right now.
Well, we can do other things in the meantime.
Okay.
Yes. Why don't we, before we do all that, why don't we run down this dealer who seems to be,
Right.
this stuff's going around. If there's somebody casing a joint shipping barrels, this might be tied to that. We should run down. That's the only other lead we have, so.
Let's go talk to Smee.
Smee.
Or we also have Mr. Hawk and Mr. Lambert.
Okay, so any school person knows that Mr. Hawk is from the founding. Probably we've talked about this a little bit earlier, but maybe it was off camera actually. Mr. Hawk is one of the founding fathers of Pewterhawk City.
Ah.
Because Pewterhawk was the pewter merchant who really made a name for himself in this area and really put the city on the map. So it was due to sort of a funny joke that people played with his name, calling him the Pewter Hawk, that it became Pewterhawk City. Yeah.
What about this Lambert?
Very quick asking around will tell you that another one of the so-called, if you ask around in this area, it's the fat cats. The fat cats who run the city.
The upper crust.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to see us.
Yeah.
No.
Not without good reason.
All right. To
Smee.
the Black Boot.
The Black Boot, it's in Uptown. It's behind the Golden Corral.
for the
We
red
look for the
flame.
red flame, and then we ask for Smee.
Okay. I'm going to say that you do all those things.
Okay.
You're gonna have to wait till after nightfall though, to actually get in there. So presuming that you spend the rest of the day kind of just hanging out, get some lunch, get some dinner.
How much does that cost us?
Like depending on where you want to eat, it could cost you
Maybe
between.
a little bit more frugally.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say on the low end, it's gonna cost you 2 silver.
All right.
On
For
the,
everyone?
For everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. On the high end, it'll cost you more than that. But hey, $40 to get lunch and dinner for 4 people.
During dinner,
This is like you're in a pretty low quality inn eating like porridge and maybe a little bit of like dried meat that you can like put in it and it gets a little soggy and then you can eat it.
sticks to your gut, but isn't much.
Yeah, like this is you're paying. This is your $5 hostel dinner.
Okay.
During the dinner, I asked Elbiza, did any of those ticks or the eyes or anything, did that look familiar from any of the people that you treated with your
I mean,
tonics?
if any of my tonics introduce ticks or yellow eyes, I'd like to be at least 2 tones over before I notice them showing up. So I'm going to say no.
Not to your knowledge?
I was going to mention actually. You noticed when you were leaving the art quarter. That totally slipped my mind, but you would have totally noticed this. That there are a lot of these beautiful murals and things like that. But then a lot of the things that you would have taken from murals before are actually kind of like graffiti of that on the side of buildings. Not a lot.
Really,
But
but there's
everyone's-
some.
There's some murals have been done sort of in that style.
Really?
And just as like you'll like be wandering you'll be wandering down the streets every once in a while and you'll look over and you'll see like a signpost or like a stable post or something like that that has like some of this marking etched into it.
How curious that people are so keen to leave this mark everywhere, yet he was desperate not to let us know that he had made it as well.
Well, he was desperate not to let Mr. Hawk and Mr. Lambert know that he was making it.
Yes. He was described as someone who's fallen a bit
Yeah.
in hard times recently.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? This is a low quality inn, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask if be like, hey man, to the bartender.
What's up?
I see a lot of like weird graffiti of like geometric patterns and stuff around here. What the heck's going on with that?
Yeah, the yellow mark.
Yeah, what is that supposed to mean? I'm sorry, I'm from out of town. I just got here.
It's this thing. A lot of the kids and the especially the rich ones up in like whatever, like the art quarter and whatever the bohemians. They take this stuff and they think it makes them, I don't know, geniuses or whatever. Really good at being creative and whatnot. All we see down here, though, is the people who are not exactly recreational users. And then they do this, and then it gets pretty bad after that.
Oh my. So this is some sort of like drug that people are taking.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. Rich people, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a thing. It feels like it's kind of everywhere now. I don't know. It wasn't. It didn't feel like it was this problematic a year ago, but it's all over the place now.
Bougie
Sure, if you
throws.
want some, you can find it here.
Oh, I see. Tell me more.
Well, I mean, like there's dealers all over the place. I don't know much about this stuff, but definitely I see enough people who are having that. I don't know, any of those street corner dealers or whatever, I'm sure is gonna know who to talk to.
All right. Well, I mean, I think maybe I'll pass, but thanks for your information. So when it gets bad, people get yellow eyes and they get twitchy, I guess.
Yeah, again, like they take a little bit of it and they think that it turns them into like, I don't know, artistic geniuses and they get patronages and awards and things like that. But then they start taking more and more and the art just turns into a lot of this.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it's like cocaine LSD.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
TM.
Yeah. What's it? So what's it called again? Sorry.
Yellow mark.
Yellow mark. Okay. Cool. Is it a liquid that people take?
Powder.
Powder. Interesting. Okay.
I was looking at the odorless vial of rose-colored liquid. I was like,
I mean, it's rose colored, not yellow. You know what also maybe comes out in barrels?
Powder.
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 All right.
let's go meet Shmee.
Oh, another thing. Speaking of barrels, I forgot I had this note. It says, it was in my stuff I got from the guards. It says, ingots are in a safe under the barrel.
Oh.
So I'm flipping over every barrel I see.
Let Zelda this work.
I should also mention to you that on that schedule that you saw, the money's in, but the shipment hasn't gone out yet.
That's the last entry is money in, shipment. Okay.
That was like yesterday that the money went in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
we
we
got,
got like 2 days before the shipment goes out.
all right, we got 2 days. So we probably shouldn't have spent a whole day sitting around.
Sorry, that was relevant information that I probably could have remembered to give you at the time.
My fault. I forgot. Sorry. Sorry. Let's go hit up Smee.
Okay, so you head to the Black Boot, and by the time you get there, night has fallen. It is the mist off the lake is not quite so bad as you get into the upper quarters. There's a little bit more discretion being, or a little bit more, attention being paid by the guards as you walk into this quarter of the city, and so they're definitely like taking a much closer look at you. The bear outfit definitely raises some questions.
I just like look at them and nod. So.
Frederick, do you want to take that off?
It saved my life.
Maybe that was the chainmail.
And you follow the directions, and the place that you end up at, like this part of the city is really nice. So there's fancy trees that have been placed everywhere. There's like these hanging flower baskets that are all over the city that look very elaborate and probably of foreign origin. The streets are very nice. They're covered in cobblestones. A lot of these buildings are very old construction out of really nice materials. The streets are all lit by gas lights here, or maybe coal lights. But regardless, there are lampposts that have lights shining at the top of them. But the part of the town that you are going to, Silver Spur, looks like it is a pretty well-to-do tavern. But then you like go around behind it, and suddenly you're like out of the street lights, and things are like a little bit. Things are still clean, but it feels a little bit more seedy. And you end up, this alley takes you like, it's a little bit more circuitous than you were led to believe, and you do see that there are like people coming from the other direction. There's maybe some traffic back here. Everyone here is pretty well dressed. They're still not looking. It's not looking like there's a part of Lowtown in the middle of Uptown. There's still people have some dollars. But yeah, there's some traffic going on here.
Okay.
And not a lot of light. Has anyone got like a torch or something?
I do.
Okay, so you're probably gonna have to light your torch to light the way through here, and everyone who's moving in and out has torches as well.
Okay.
You eventually get to the Red Lantern, and there is an unmarked door there.
All
I
right.
take off the sequined hat because I feel like this belonged to a very specific person that probably went here before.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay.
I'm here to see Smee.
Are you?
Yes.
Me specifically?
Specifically Smee. My friend
All
said to me.
four of you?
I'm here to
Well,
play the table.
yeah.
Feel like everyone just wants to see Smee these days. No
Did-
one's coming to game, you know.
Well, I was told he was a dealer.
Yeah, He certainly is.
No.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to wait. His room is being occupied. There's a bit of a queue, but maybe you'll find something else to do while you're down there. There's a stairway going down. It is lushly carpeted.
Ooh.
And when you get down, you see that there's a bar with a lot of like nice liquor. It is well lit by lamps with chimneys that seem to go into the ceiling in a way, so it prevents it from being too smoky. As I say, fine liquor behind the bar. There are wickets where people are exchanging gold and silver for chips, gambling chips. And a number of gaming tables where people are using those gaming chips, which strangely look like coins with a hole in the middle and a spiraling snake going outward from the inside to the outside.
So we have one.
Do they all look the same?
No. They are various different materials.
Okay.
Which denomination do we think the coin Kathleen has is?
Quick reconnaissance reveals it is worth 10 gold coins.
Good instincts.
Nice.
Don't buy back somebody else's garbage.
Also, I get, was Aunt Euphemia one of those old ladies who like to sit in the casino, pull the slot machine all day?
Yeah, I mean maybe that's why my inheritance was one token.
You were less stiff than you thought.
Yeah. All right. Are there any? Oh, so I have a. Can I get this changed for like smaller pieces? Like.
Yeah.
Because that would make me that's one high rolling bet, right?
Yeah. That's basically one high rolling bet. You're right. Yeah.
What kind of games are there around here?
So the smallest chip that you can get is a silver piece. So you can get it exchanged for 10 of those. And the games here are card games.
Wait, this is a 10 gold piece or a 10 silver piece?
Right, sorry, it's 10 gold. So it's 100 silver
100
pieces.
silver.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you're looking at various card games, various local card games. There's one that is blackjack with the serial numbers filed off. There's one that is poker with the serial numbers filed off.
Ah, yes.
There's probably roulette with the serial numbers filed off as well, available for you. Something resembling baccarat is likely there for if you.
Is there any table I can go where people are more inclined to be chatty? So is there a group of people huddled around so I can maybe watch the action before getting in and maybe listen to people? And...
Yeah, I mean you can sort of like wander the tables, seeing what might work well. Definitely you're able to find a table where there's some folks who are well into a very nice bottle, who are having very animated conversations.
Fantastic.
In terms of seeing Smee, it seems like Smee operates out of a private room that's at the back of the establishment, and people will sort of go in to occupy Smee's table. There's a few of these private tables. They seem to serve different purposes. People will go in to play at Smee's table and then like come out, maybe 10, 20 minutes later, and there seems.
They look high.
Difficult to tell in the low light and whatnot, but possibly.
Are they having a great time?
It seems like they're having a pretty good time.
Ah, fun establishment.
Okay.
Did you break it, the coin, or you just hold on to the one?
There's basically a queue to get into Smee. That's what I'm saying. So you
Yeah.
can get into that queue if you want to.
But I think we might also need to, pay Smee.
Yeah.
Do we want to gamble to pass the time or just magically have time go by? We'll wait for Shmee.
I want to gamble to pass the time.
Oh God, we're gonna lose all our money.
No, please.
Gambling.
Oh, come on! I'll turn it into 10 of those brass coins in no time.
All right. Well, let's see you work your magic, Judith.
Okay, I'm going to abstract this a little bit and
right.
say that what we'll do is say the average roll on these is 3.5.
Before we start,
Yeah.
because I have nothing if not, I actually hate gambling.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my coin and I'm going to get 50 pieces of silver and then keep the other 50 pieces of silver.
Sure.
Right, that's not good. So
Yeah.
there's your gambling money.
50 chips.
50
All right.
chips.
All right.
Okay, so the average of these is 3.5. The house always wins. So if you So what you're looking for is rolls of 4 or higher to win, or
Okay.
3 or less to lose.
So 50-50, not bad. That's actually better than a casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I should make that 5 or higher.
Yeah,
5 or higher.
technically,
Okay,
yeah.
5 or higher to win.
Yeah.
Sir.
Well, honestly, if we're looking for realism there. Oh, all right, we break even.
So you more or less break even.
All right.
All right.
That's the best we could ask for.
Do we meet any interesting folks?
You do. You meet a whole bunch of. It seems like this is like a playground for the wealthy elites, or at least the children of wealthy elites who don't have a lot better to do and kind of hang out, kind of like to hang out here.
Spend all their parents' money.
Spend all their
Yeah.
parents' money. This is also sort of like neutral ground for with regard to like family holdings and whatnot. So. In the sort of like general world of the aristocracy, maybe you can only hang out with certain people. But if you come to a place like this that is sort of like illicit establishment that your parents totally don't know about, then you
Totally
can
didn't meet at.
then you can hang out with basically whoever you want and have meetings, which it seems like some of the back rooms are for, and also conduct deals and whatever else you need to get done. So this is sort of a clubhouse, but it's not for it's sort of mixture between a clubhouse and like neutral meeting room for that kind of stuff.
While we're gambling and working the room, I am going to be dropping mentions to different people in passing of a gold octopus. Like, oh yeah, the guy with the gold octopus, or
Okay.
something like that.
Refresh my memory, what's that for again?
That's his
His
hat.
hat.
On my hat.
Ah, of course.
So
Who's this guy?
clock check. We're at 7:45 right now. So what are we going to do when we hit 8 o'clock? This is Jeremy asking.
Jeremy is even asking, I do have another stream at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Oh.
And I suppose the question you have to ask yourself is, do you have enough content for a second stream? Or should we push this late and then I'll just not do my other stream?
I think it's better to push it late from my point of view.
Okay.
Okay.
So if that's okay.
Yeah, let's just keep
Do
going.
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so hungry, but I'll live.
Okay.
Me too.
I don't think it'll go too long, but
All right.
okay.
I appreciate you checking in.
Yeah. All right. So back to where we were. We're gonna find. So what you're gonna find out, you are gonna find out some information about the guy with the golden octopus hat.
Ooh, well done.
I love it.
So his name was Fitzhugh Silverless.
His name was. Oh
His
no.
name, sorry, his name is Fitzhugh Silverless. And he's a mercenary.
Oh, we have the stuff of mercenaries.
He's kind of a flamboyant mercenary. He goes around like showing off he likes to rep his earnings.
Octopus brand or whatever.
Yeah, he likes to rep his octopus brand. Yeah, exactly. He likes to dress in very very outgoing,
Gaudy.
in a very gaudy fashion to attract attention and show that he is. He's the guy who goes to a shootout dressed in stuff from the Old Town Road music video.
Oh, just like me.
Oh, maybe don't wear that hat anymore.
Oh, I took it off before we entered.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a reputation though for being a bit of a coward who will run at the first sign of danger.
So, question, does he have a posse that he rolls with?
I would ask for that information if I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah. So apparently he was recently seen attached to an Odette Wilberforce, who prefers to go by Odette Needle when she's in the establishment. She is. She's ambitious. She wants to lead her family. She's been, busy trying to claw her way up the hierarchy of.
Like aristocrats and nobles and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. She frequents here because she makes a lot of deals and stuff, but no one's seen her recently.
Anyone else? Potentially a group of 4
Those
in
are
total?
that's basically what you're hearing, is that Fitzhugh was hanging out with Odette.
Okay.
And what kind of clothing does Odette normally wear? Perhaps a member of the Sisterhood, or...
Was she an aspiring mage?
Yeah. Just trying to see if we can piece her gear in with maybe one of the other sets of gear that we got here, or if it's just completely random.
It's like maybe he was.
So yeah, she was a well-placed member of the Order of the Silver Moons.
Ah,
All right, so we got
2 out of 4.
So I got Fitzhugh Silverless's.
And it's not necessarily we're going to have a 4 for 4 match. There's a possibility there's some red herring gear there. But it is interesting to think of if there's potential, some type of parody that we found there.
Yep.
So I wonder. So Odette Wilberforce, aka Odette Needle, is trying to advance her family's fortunes. She's a well-placed member of the Silver, whatever it is, Silver Stars.
It's the
Silver Moons.
The Silver
Moon.
Moons, sorry.
Yep.
She's a well-placed member of the Silver Moons. So she's hired a mercenary, a flashy mercenary, and she was watching a place where barrels went out of.
So it could either be related to the drug trade to shut it down, or to get wealthy, or completely unrelated, she's just trying to hit a store of one of her family's competitors. And
Maybe.
Yeah, interesting.
those are the 3 contingency my
Maybe
brain's
she's lost.
fixed on.
Maybe she's lost a friend to Yellow Mark and is on some sort of revenge mission.
Or she just wants to get rich. Sometimes you just want to get rich.
She did have a note.
Is she-
She did have the note about the ingots.
Does she know? Does she know Oliver Thrim?
Oliver Thrim. So few people kind of know who Oliver Thrim is here, but you will probably be able to find 1 or 2 people who have heard of him, but not really in that context.
Yeah. All right.
What if we mentioned the breaching mermaid? Like, does she know?
That's
the
what
guy?
that's what Oliver Thrim is
no,
associated
yeah.
with.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
basically, if you hear about him, it's like, oh, he did the breaching mermaid mural in the art quarter. Yeah, okay, that's really well known. I've heard of that.
It was really well drawn, but kind of obscene.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to check out anything before we check the Shmee queue?
No.
Nope.
Let's get in the queue.
Let's
Yeah.
advance the Shmee queue.
All right.
I'm assuming that you've kind of been in the speed queue.
I've been standing
Yeah,
over there in the
yeah,
line
yeah,
where
yeah.
they're off carousing.
Okay.
We've taken a number.
So eventually,
Shmee will see you now.
you get taken into a room where there is a nice big green card table, and there's an old man with long white hair and a black robe, and he's got like an eye patch on, and he is just sweeping the table off, and he looks up at you and he goes, "Shmee will see you now." And then he turns around and walks away.
Fantastic.
And a young, well-dressed man in like one of those casino vests and tousled hair,
good choice
perfect
of word.
smile, cufflinks, all the bolo tie, all the accoutrement. Comes and sits down. He's, "What can I do for you folks?"
So I have 2 questions before we jump in. One, is there anyone else in the room, or is it just us and Smee?
It's just you and Smee.
So there's no
Well, that
guard.
we can see.
Well, yeah, sorry. The old man left through a back door, which
That's
is
right.
like a sliding door. So who knows how thick that wall is? But
Okay.
Yeah.
And any other entrances and exits other than the one we came in and the staff door?
no.
And can my character not go in there and watch the room while the other people are in there as a scout?
Yeah.
To see if anything weird is going on.
So you want to stay outside the door we walked in?
And also so that I'm not associated with you, so that I could go in a second time as a new person if we need to.
Perfect.
Sure.
All right.
That's totally fine. There's plenty of things to do to occupy yourself. It's not super suspicious that 3 people go in instead of 4 people.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody does Yellow Mark.
Yellow mark. Yeah.
But I think actually this game table has 4 people. So you've got a rando who's going to come in with you.
That's bad.
Oh. Committed.
If you want me in there, I'm gonna go in there.
Let's split the party. Let's make
Yeah.
Jocelyn.
I mean, it's up to you.
If you want me in there, I'm going in there.
You just like
I'm
shove
not
that
saying I
fourth
want
guy
you
out
in
of the
there.
way and
Yeah,
jump
fourth
in.
person.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'll come in with you.
No, it's fine, Tomas. Get out of here.
It'll be more complicated if I don't go in.
Yeah.
People do seem to be going in groups of 4.
Okay.
So what can I do for you folks?
We came to play a hand of cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You're a dealer.
Yeah, our friend Oliver Said you were the best dealer in town.
Oh yeah, good client.
Mm-hmm.
How much? What kind of stakes were you willing to play? Were you looking to play today?
Oh, very low, very low. Just starting out, don't really know much about playing cards.
All right. Well, so we'll say 30 silver.
30 silver. I think we can do 30 silver. Yeah. I'm gonna drop 30 of the chips.
Not 30 of the chips. It's
No, they're
10
no,
silver
no.
each.
No,
right?
they're 1 silver chips or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So he takes your 30 silver and he passes out a hand of cards to each of you, and with the last hand of cards, he puts a little vial down in front of you that has a yellow powder in it.
Ah, yes.
Without even like.
Wow. Content warning. All right. You're eating it.
Is it... Oh, no.
I do 1 drug, please.
All right. It tastes awful. You're gonna
Got some
cough.
water to wash this down.
You're gonna cough, and like a bunch of yellow stuff is gonna haze into the air. That's not how you're supposed to use it.
I'm sorry. He didn't explain that part. He just said take and.
Yeah, how good friends
That's
are you?
why I
with
got the
Olivar
gravelly
anyway?
voice.
He's just like going on playing the card game. He's
Yeah.
not actually like engaging with you very much. Well, he's engaging with you,
Yeah.
but he's just like acting like a dealer.
Yeah.
I just realized we didn't have a plan.
No, but you know what we can say? So there seems to be a lot of people drawing these like geometric symbols all over the place, and that seems to be like it's a side effect of the yellow mark that you sell here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what do you know about that?
that you shouldn't take too much.
I see, but your job is selling it. I don't think that's a very nice idea.
You know, I'm not gonna make choices for your buddy Olivar or your friend over here. You know, you do you. You do you.
Hey, what do you? Sorry,
How
what was
long
her
has this
name?
stuff been around?
Odette?
Yeah, Wilberforce.
I don't
Or
know. Since the
needle.
beginning of time, like there's always been people looking to move things, and, make deals where
Yeah.
it's necessary.
Yeah. We just rolled into town, and we don't have Yellow Mark back in Irontown, and you know what? This stuff, from what I have seen, and the tiny bit that buzz that I'm getting from it now, seems like good stuff.
Imagine if you'd taken it the right way.
Yeah, no, this is a 2-time one, and you know what? We came here looking for a business venture, and so like this seems like something that would be perfect for Irontown.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to help you with that.
No?
Nope.
Who could we talk to?
Well,
We decided to come to. We didn't want to start with any like street level garbage. We want to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about.
We're looking to move. We're not. This is great. This is a wonderful sample. We're talking like we got a cart. We're gonna fill it with barrels.
Uh-huh. Well, a good magician never reveals the source of his magic, at least in terms of prestidigitation, because everyone knows magic is cast from spellbooks. But so I don't think that I can let you know who my employers.
He keeps looking over here. What's he looking at?
He's like seems pretty nervous about talking about the situation of where, or about the particulars of where his supply comes from.
Interesting. Oh, well, another friend of mine is interested in this. And should I go talk to, the Wilberforce family? Does he react at all to this?
Do you think that they would want in on something like this?
I think they might.
Well, do you want to deal out another hand?
Oh, sure.
It'll be another 30 silver,
That's
but
fine, but you can keep the drugs this time.
I was going to.
Do we have to figure out if we're winning or losing at this point, or are we just bleeding money?
We're just bleeding money, but this
Yeah.
is essentially free money. This is
Yeah.
you get these things in the campaign to use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
These characters don't need to retire
Alright, we're down.
And they probably won't.
Yep.
to grave.
Yeah.
All right, so you know who the owners of this establishment are, right?
Honestly, we are new to town and we don't.
All right, you need to go to the Crooked Fang Clubhouse. It's in the docks. And you need to make a deal with Daphne.
Daphne.
All right.
She can hook you up.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to tip him.
Okay, what are you tipping him?
Anything we can afford to tip him will be insulting.
Just pretend you didn't say anything.
You always tip your dealer, so
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tip him with my drugs?
sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to take them.
He's like, here, you can keep these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
going to pocket mine.
I'm gonna keep mine too.
Well,
You are feeling a bit strange.
No kid.
The colors look a little bit more vibrant. You have this urge to say things, to express yourself in ways that you otherwise wouldn't. You start drawing associations between words, seeing rhymes and meter. You kind of get lulled by the patterns of people's voices as they speak, the rhythms inherent therein. You start seeing more of the intrinsic patterns that are built into woodworking and grains of wood and things like that. There's some interesting stuff happening. And as I say, you have this like bizarre need to, you can resist it. It's not incredibly strong, but you feel like you want to write stuff down or draw or do something with your hands.
Okay.
Do we leave?
yeah.
I feel like we're
I
leaving.
think we're done.
Yeah.
So we leave up 40 silver and 2 vials of yellow
Yellow mark.
Yellow mark.
Okay.
I guess I'll track the money.
So now we need to go talk to Daphne at the Crooked Fang in the docks.
Ooh. You know what probably leaves a thing in a dock? Barrels.
Yep.
That's the shipments.
All right. On the way there, you keep having to grab me because I like staring down at the cobbles and be like, oh. It's like that full witness. Like the witness, you start seeing the patterns everywhere. It's like, oh.
Look at this torch. You're like, yes.
I'm thinking more of like pie. What about the stock market?
Now, Elpisa, is anything about this, like anything about your art, spring to mind when?
I'm just tasting a bit.
Yeah.
Sulfurous. Hallucinogenic, mildly.
Maybe a little bit of sulfur. It tastes kind of musky, like kind of maybe rotten or moldy or something.
Uh-oh.
Unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yellow mark is people.
Or mushrooms. Sort of a euphoric feeling. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have my gear with me.
I feel great.
This
is good stuff.
Glad to hear that, Judith. We'll let you go in first. I'm sure you're extra powerful right
So
now.
musky and rotten, but not like metallic. More like it's an organic.
More like it's an organic.
Yeah, gross. All right.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you can head down to the docks in the middle of the night. That is totally fine. And
Well, it's 8:02 in real time, so let's just go to the dock.
Yep. Moving this along.
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, you can head down to the docks. There are a lot of gangs that hold a lot of control over various parts of Pewterhawk, and many of them are headquartered in the docks because, of course, they have much of their money taken up with imports and exports of various sorts.
Right.
A lot of them are sort of implicitly funded by the Fat Cats, or acknowledged by acknowledged but not acknowledged by the fat cats.
Like the Hawks and the Lamberts.
Yeah.
That's part of
You have
yeah.
a little gang in your pocket, right? That's how you make a little money
Exactly.
on the side.
So they, you're able to ask around a little bit. You discover that the Crooked Fang is a gang. They are relatively well known. They wear green scarves as one of their distinctive insignias, and they, as part of their initiation ritual, require that their members break their little fingers and leave them in, make them heal that way, so that their little fingers are all their left little finger or right little finger, whichever is their less dominant hand, has like a crooked.
I don't like it.
Which shows them to be a
Member.
legit member of the organization.
Wow.
One of them tried to kill me.
Well, they tried to kill the person that we were pretending to be.
Or us. We still haven't figured out.
So that means the Crooked Fang was onto whatever what's-her-face was planning.
Odette.
Odette.
Yeah.
Needle.
Odette Wilberforce.
Or they just want to kill me for a reason I don't remember.
I don't think we're that important. Maybe. Hold on. I know we said we went down here. What if we just went to the Wilberforce family and we're like, "What's up?"
Sure, you can do that if you want.
We're looking for your.
Bail on the docks.
Well, I mean, how are we going to talk our way into meeting a gang member? But maybe whoever the Wilberforce family is enough. I mean, I don't know how well they'll react to us showing up. Be like, hey, we got some stuff belonging to some people and your family is like.
And there might be a drug conspiracy perpetrated by your daughter.
Or
Yeah.
your family's being targeted by the Crooked Fang. We have some information for you.
But what if it's the other way around? What if it's their information? They're like, I see you've uncovered our plot.
That's true.
Time for you to die.
That's true.
What if we are?
Well, why should we enact their plot for them?
Yeah.
I don't know if 4 people showing up in the middle of the night asking for their daughter is going to go over terribly well.
Oh, right.
That might be a warning
Who
thing.
may or may not be
Presumptuous, if
missing.
nothing else.
We don't know.
Hey, now that things have chilled out, we could also go to the hotel room and look a little bit more carefully.
If it
I
hasn't.
feel like they probably would have picked it over, but yeah.
Maybe just the docks. I don't know. Or do you want to? Would you rather go to the parents' house?
Well, I feel
The
like
estate.
I mean, our characters haven't died yet. So let's see. Let's go. So, well, we don't actually have a place to go, do we?
I mean, you've got multiple places that you could consider going.
Right, but we don't know where they're moving these barrels from.
Right.
We have a contact with the Crooked Fang whose name is Daphne.
Right. But I
Yeah.
guess we could just ask to talk to. But what do we do when we get there?
Yeah.
Do we pretend to be Odette Wilberforce and say we're going into business with them?
Do we pretend that we're now interested in moving tremendous quantities of drug barrels, and then look for a chest full of ingots under a barrel?
After they loaded, oh, we don't have the cart. Damn it.
No, and Daphne's ingots are definitely not under one of these barrels.
Yeah.
Or Odette's
Odette.
ingots are not under one of these barrels.
They were trying to kill Odette.
They were trying to kill me. Okay, they were trying to. Okay, they were
okay.
trying to kill Odette. They're trying to kill Odette. So maybe.
So should we kill? Why should we revenge her? Or should we revenge her?
What if we go in?
What are we doing here?
Why don't we give them the old Kansas City shuffle? If we think the barrel is there, you go in, try and do business stuff. I'll sneak into the warehouse, look under the barrels for the chest. We strike it rich. We find our cart. We move on.
Yeah. Did looking at the notes, is there an obvious pattern to how many
Guards there are.
or how many barrels are going out? Does it look like it's an increasing
It's
number
increasing.
of barrels? Okay.
It's been increasing over the last, say, couple of months.
What was the last shipment?
last shipment? We'll say was 8 barrels.
It's a lot of barrels.
Full of powder.
I
Full
would
of powder.
rather than try to roll these drug dealers, what I want to find out is figure out what this drug is and how it's being made. So could we maybe do a reconnaissance mission?
Reconnaissance.
Poor Kay.
Because information is power. Maybe we can take that back to the Wilberforce family, or maybe we can just figure out how to make our own incredibly addictive thing and then sell it and become rich somewhere else.
Or we can just take all their money.
Why not both?
Let's go in stealth mode.
Okay, so I will make some of this easier for you. If you do some reconnaissance, similar to what you've been doing before, you can pretty quickly figure out that where does it come from? It comes from the Crooked Fang.
Okay.
They are the source for this drug in town. There are a lot of different intermediaries and go-tos that are in between them and the suppliers, but if you follow any of the trails along far enough, it leads back to the Crooked Fang.
Interesting.
They have the recipe secret. So if we want the recipe to take that as well, we need to go in.
All right, well, I guess let's do it.
Do we go in under the guise of trying to be business people, and I'll try and fleece them while you're doing that?
I'm not sure how we would win in any case in going in directly. is
Well,
the
you
thing.
can just go in. No, you go in with a business, not go in guns blazing. Go and be like, why, hello, yes, we are large vendors from Iron City. Let's talk about the rate of a barrel. And while that's happening, I'll go in under the cover of darkness and try and look for the stash under the chest that we know is in there because they've been doing reconnaissance on it. I'll take that. That's our retirement money. Life of crime, it's all done.
It's not a bad. That's as honestly as good of a plan as we've got.
All right, let's go get into the drug business.
All right.
Or we just take the money from the drug business, but we don't have to move drugs ourselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, let's go pretend we're getting into
Ah,
the drug business.
okay.
Yes.
So we can get
Yeah.
into the warehouse.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to be clear.
Okay.
So you're headed down to the Crooked Fang Clubhouse.
Yes.
Wow, that sounds terrifying. Okay.
Okay, so you can hear it before you see it. It is a big, it's a big warehouse-ish building on the docks. It looks like it has a dry dock inside it. It looks like it's multiple rooms. There are people partying inside it, from the sound of it, like a lot of people, like 50 to 100 people.
Oh, wow.
And
exciting.
That's a good party.
Yeah.
there are multiple sentries posted outside, and a lot of boats sort of pulled up to the docks nearby that are in some cases guarded. There are a couple of big mastiffs out front with the sentries. The sentries all are wearing green scarves. They look pretty burly. Say 4 of them, or there's 2 of them out there, and then a few more patrolling as well.
All right. I'm going to just stroll on up to the door.
Let's see, we're here to party with Daphne.
Yeah.
One piece of information really quick, though. Is there an obvious-looking warehouse attached to the structure at all?
Or it is a warehouse,
Or
right?
is the whole
It
thing
is.
a warehouse?
It is basically a converted warehouse.
So
Yeah.
in my thief brain, I would want to access it from the inside. So once I'm in, I could then try and sneak out, or would they go in and I would try and sneak in from the outside?
I'm not totally sure what you mean. Like, you would want to access it from the inside.
Where do I think the best access point is for the breakaway point, where they're going to do part A of the Kansas City Shuffle, and I'm going to do part B of the Kansas City
It's
Shuffle?
always easier to get in if you're already supposed to be there.
Ah,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we go in together.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, who's walking up to the sentry and saying they want to party with Daphne?
Me.
All of us, but Judith is speaking.
Okay.
Judith has compromised abilities at the moment, so she's
Talkie.
yep.
You're feeling outgoing.
The sentry cold cocks you.
Oh,
Ooh.
Okay.
So you take a point of damage and are seeing stars all over the place.
And you love it.
The stars are in patterns.
Nope.
What?
Who are you even? Like, look at this. Look at this. It's like prissy, nobly elfy boy, and the bear man, the human bear. And like, what are you, like 4 feet tall? Like, come on, man. No.
Do you not want to grow your business? We are from
we're from Irontown.
Oh, sorry.
I've got no interest in growing the business, friend. I'm just asked to stand here. And you're not getting in to see Daphne.
How much?
Oh.
No. Do you have an appointment?
Yes. That's why I came here to see Daphne.
He punches you again.
Uh-oh.
I'm not even going to roll for it. You take a point of damage.
All right. I'm very bloody at this point.
Oh no. Yeah, we only have
Both.
4.
I'm at 2 hit points.
Both nostrils are bleeding.
Yep.
I suspect this might be the wrong point of entrance.
Albiza, do you maybe have a spell?
Oh my gosh, I do. All right, Jer, I got one spell a day.
Yeah, you got a spell a day.
It's called Disguising Chaos.
Okay.
Disguising Chaos. Okay,
All right.
so here's what I think Disguising Chaos does.
Yeah.
As he's laughing and her blood drips onto the pavement, you hear a crack as a horrible portal to a horrible dimension opens up. And 500,000 pairs of those glasses that have the nose and the fake mustache are
Yeah.
connected to them begin to rain from the sky and erupt from the sewers and just get everywhere. And it's horrible and chaotic and weird, and it takes a long time for that many things to happen, so hopefully he gets clobbered by them.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So there's
Disguising chaos.
I'm a very literal person.
so just to sort of streamline this a little bit. Let's say that it's like it's a mass hallucination, more
Okay.
or less, of the weird noses and.
Was that this a Groucho Marx?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
a
Groucho Marx glasses. Yep.
All right.
Now you say mass. Is that located to him or everyone
I
around?
think everyone
No,
around here.
everyone around. There's a mass hallucination of these things just coming from everywhere. Everyone has them on their faces. Every animal has them.
The drugs have them.
Anything that any like noun that you look at, you see one of these on top of it. Sure.
I like your glasses. You should get inside. No, you are.
Right, okay. In the midst of all of this,
Yeah.
Shadowjack mode activates. I am now hiding in the shadows and the Groucho Marx masks, and I'm trying to run for the warehouse.
Okay, so there's still like a closed door though between you and the
If we
inside
just
of the
open
warehouse.
it though, while this guy's freaking out.
Okay, sure. The guys can start freaking out for long enough for you to bust the door open and get inside. There's now you come into a room where there are like 75 people.
Are they all freaking out too?
They're all freaking out too.
Oh, so I don't care if I die. This is everything I've ever wanted. Any D&D situation, I just want to cause chaos briefly.
So
Hooray.
people are freaking out, but at the same time, not everyone is as freaked out as you might hope. There's folks who are getting pretty freaked out about it, but there are also there's also someone obviously casting a spell. So you're able to get it. You're able to get in the door, and you're able to get in the door, and there is like sort of utter chaos. People can't see who anyone is, etc. And you hear like a hey from outside because someone like saw someone get through the door, but totally is not sure what to do. And there are a couple of wizards who are like casting some sort of spell, which.
I would like to target any and all wizards I can with my spell, Maddening Soul.
Okay.
Which is to say, I imbue any and all of them with just an essence of unreason.
Okay.
Where they can't speak correctly because they don't have the functioning up here knowledge of what languages anymore.
Okay.
They've been possessed.
They've been possessed by an ineptitude at language.
Aphasia.
Aphasia.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to say a bit more broad, like just kind of general unreason.
Okay.
Are they just too angry to
Yeah.
finish their spell?
They just don't know what logic is anymore. Like their logical center is shut off.
Maddening part. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So they're casting spells. You quickly like cast this this spell. It's essentially sort of a confusion spell on them, and they are trying to their spells fizzle as they're trying to get this stuff figured out. But there's more people coming into the room, and there is there is a fair bit of, so I'm gonna say, yeah, there are going to be more wizards coming into this room. They're going to deal with the spell effects that you've thrown out, but you do have like say 30 seconds to a minute of time where people are confused and trying to like just completely unable to really identify you as foreign people in the room.
Right.
So what do you want to do with that time?
Can I go over to one of those boggled wizards?
Yeah.
And can I be like, quick, you must read this book, and like show them the unlocking spell?
They
They won't be able to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
'cause
I
we
feel like
can't
these
cast
wizards,
it.
Sorry.
these
that's
wizards
fine.
are just completely now irrational and start gibbering at you in all sorts of bizarre words that you've never heard before. It's like I've got to stymie the file bore. The file bore needs to be stymied. I need to
All
climb.
Is there another door in here that leads to like a storage room? Obviously, we're on like a dance floor. There's probably a stage and a bar.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be like, I want to see the staff only door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to be like, change of plans, and try and usher us towards there.
Okay. Sure. Let's say that you are able to usher the party towards there.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna kick through that door. Maybe. All right.
Nope.
No. All right. Yeah, like bust through that door really quickly.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's quieter.
Yeah.
What do
Okay.
we see?
So you've busted your way out onto the dry dock, and
We're
so they're
outside. No, the dry dock's inside.
inside.
Okay.
So
good.
there's like some big doors at the other end.
Okay.
And a bunch of small boats small to medium boats of various sizes and configurations lined up along the dock. And there are again a bunch of people in here. They are in various states of confusion, but there's also a wizard in here who has been casting a spell, and they seem to be recovering.
How many people in total?
Let's say 20.
I have
Engaged in various parts of like loading up the boats and unloading the boats and things like that.
Interesting. Kathleen?
a backup plan because I think this is starting to go very poorly.
Okay.
What if we just blow everything up?
With what?
I don't know. Like figured. What if we just take down this crime business from the inside?
So,
All right.
do we have a moment to strategize here together?
Not really.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, that wizard's a problem. I'm gonna take the staff that's an 8-ball on the end of a pool cue
Yeah.
and just like whip it like a javelin at them.
Oh my god, you still have that.
Yeah.
So, okay, if we're committing to this, all right, I'm going to turn around, and I have 3 iron spikes on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use 2 of them just to like block the door so people can't come in behind us.
Oh, this is an interesting idea. All right.
And I'm gonna shoot the wizards with bow and arrow action.
Okay.
I think we're at the point where we need to roll initiative here.
Yeah, we're gonna need to roll it. Well, I'm gonna let you guys have the first initiative because
Okay.
We're definitely
Amazing.
having an
Surprise.
element of surprise.
And Kathleen,
Yeah.
what are you doing with your action?
I have a derringer, which is not very good.
It is a gun, though.
No, it's a tiny gun that doesn't hit very hard. You gotta like get somebody right in the eye. Otherwise, you probably won't kill them.
Are you a marksman?
I have a +2 to dexterity. I'm going to attempt to take cover and shoot at anyone who may try to shoot at me.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
no, I'm going to try to shoot one of the people loading a boat, and I'm going to aim directly for his eye.
All right. So let's deal with the non-attacking actions first. That's yours.
Yeah.
So you turn around and you start like spiking. I'll say you can like start pounding one spike into the door.
Well, is there a pivot point? Instead of hammering it shut, is there like a clever spot where like, there's a joint, fling, and just like block it because it's a solid iron spike?
I don't know that you're going to be able to effectively do that. I think you're like
Then
gonna
the
be-
hammer option it is.
that
Okay.
there's a lot more mechanical advantage at the inside of the door than there is on the outside of the door. So
And we're on the side of the door that I don't have the mechanical advantage.
no, I mean like if you try and get it near the fulcrum, it's going to be easier to push away your
Okay.
thing by putting pressure on the end of the door as opposed to putting it in at the end.
I will do it in the way that makes the most sense.
So yeah, I mean like you're basically trying to hammer the spike in to block the door
Sure.
and
I
whatever you
have
can.
+1 to strength.
Okay, so you're just boom, 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 boom,
Awesome.
as best you can. You're whipping, you're javelining a
8-ball on the end of a pool cue.
Okay, now I should mention that these wizards, it seems like a wizard has already cast a spell in here to sort of nullify the effects of the spell that was dropped on them.
Okay.
So this won't necessarily. This is definitely like attacking the wizard to get rid of the wizard.
Yeah.
But it's not going to stop the other people who are recovering from their confusion-induced stupor from coming after you.
That's fine. I just want to like render him unconscious.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
2d6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big roll, big roll, big.
That's a 5.
Okay, so it sails past the wizard and does not succeed at making.
Turns
an
out
impact.
not balanced for throwing.
Yeah.
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 You were going to shoot one of the sailors.
Yeah. I got a 7. I don't know what that. I don't know what my.
And you add.
Oh, do I add anything?
You just add your attack roll if you have one. So if you're using it as an elf, if you're using a sword or a bow.
No.
So no.
All right.
So you shoot at the sailor, and the bullet sails past his head, and Orflam.
My turn. My turn to probably kill someone, actually. I have an attack bonus. That's not good enough. It's 4 total.
Okay, so various attacks go off, and so you've come through the door, taken pot shots at like some of the 20 people in there,
Thrown a javelin.
thrown a javelin, and tried to barricade the door back to the room with 75-ish people in it. Okay, so there's still chaos behind you, but you've attracted the attention. You've got the attention of the people in this room.
Yes, they are
For
definitely
sure.
looking at us now.
So can I get an initiative roll for your entire team?
How do we do that?
You roll 1d6.
All right, Erica.
4.
4. I roll
Less than 4, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
1. All right, so you get the next go as well.
Where are the exits?
Behind you, and the dry dock doors in front of you.
And where does the dry dock door lead, do you think?
The sea.
The lake.
The lake.
Oh, the lake.
Yeah, the lake.
The very toxic lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as I say, like you've come into a room. There's imagine like docks going around sort of the outside of it, and then another couple of docks that also project out of the sort of inside of the U. So it's sort of like a W with an extra.
And there is water. Like we could,
And there's
worst
water.
comes to worst, dive into the water
Yes.
and try and
we
swim
did
out.
come here when the most guards were here.
Yes. Well, so
Is there like a secret door to
the number of guards that were reflected in that book were like up to like 6 or 8 at a time at like really big times. Even the guards outside the doors were like approaching that number, and this is like there's a lot of gang members here. This isn't all guards. This is just members of the gang.
Oh my God, we're gonna die. Is there perhaps some sort of like? So there's only 2. I just want to like go to the lab.
I have an idea.
Okay,
about
what's
what
your
I want
idea?
to do. I want to. So there's some of these barrels around, right?
No,
No.
not in here.
What are they loading onto the?
So it looks like various cargo. Like I guess there's probably barrels around. Yeah, there's barrels
Okay.
and boxes that are being loaded onto the boats.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know what's in those barrels.
Correct.
What I want to do is I wanted to try and open one and try and see if I could just kick that stuff into the air.
Interesting. All right.
I
So
was thinking of stealing the boat and going away.
It will be easier to do if everyone's high.
So your
Fair.
goal is to, so let's say, sure, you can go down one of the docks, and there are there are definitely barrels and boxes of various sorts. Whether they're
Yep.
the barrels you're looking for, you don't know.
I don't.
But there are barrels and boxes, so you can go to run to the nearest barrel.
Yep.
And what are you trying to do? Like kick it over, or like?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Don't do drugs.
Just smash it. Start fanning drugs at them.
You run to the nearest barrel, and you like try and knock it over, and it's really heavy.
Oh yeah, and you're a halfling. You're very tiny.
But you like manage to push it over onto its side, and it sort of is on its side, and it rolls a little bit, but it doesn't kind of create the big dramatic effect that you might hope for.
Oh.
That you might get from like I don't know, shooting it with a gun or something. Anyone else?
How much black grease is in a jar of black grease?
It's probably like about this big.
Handful.
Yeah.
I was thinking of, trying to commandeer that boat.
Okay, so you're gonna run down onto one of the boats.
Wait, do you have a pint of oil and a lantern?
I do.
Start a fire, start a
Yeah,
fire,
Kathleen's
start a
plan to
fire,
light
start
everything
a
on
fire.
fire might work here. I have grease, which is probably highly flammable too. Is the door barricaded behind me, or would I have to spend more turns doing that?
Is the door barricaded behind you? Yeah, well, you've got one peg in it,
Yeah.
so it's barricaded. You can't just open it now. You'd have to
Good.
spend some time taking the peg out.
Good. All right. Good enough. All right.
What if
Only one way out.
threw... The barrel wouldn't immediately explode, I assume.
We don't know. We don't know how flammable it is.
Could I, like, just go like that with my oil and hit one of the people and also a barrel there nearby? I'll aim it towards a situation like that. And then just my lit lantern at them.
I think that's going to take 2 rounds to get fully done. Because you've also, like, your lantern isn't really lit, right? Like, it was
Yeah.
just
Fair.
sort of,
Wait, but there'd be lanterns in here, right?
sure, yeah, there's some lanterns in
What
there.
if we just throw the oil on the lantern?
What if you shot a lantern?
Yeah. Why don't we throw the
I'll
lantern?
shoot
Yeah.
a lantern. Well, I'll probably just send it out. But that's okay. I will shoot a lantern on my turn. Or
Ooh.
I'll try to.
Go
And
ahead.
your turn's right now.
All right, I'm going to try to shoot a lantern.
Okay,
I get a 7.
that's fine. You shoot a lantern.
All right.
The lantern explodes,
Oh, good.
and
Yes.
and flaming oil gets all over the place around it. It hasn't like really started a fire yet, but it's definitely all over the exposed wood.
Did that hit the person that I threw oil on?
Oh, sorry, you were so.
Oh, did you actually do the throw?
I wasn't
of
sure
the
if you
oil?
actually did that.
Are you going to do that now?
If you guys are being coordinated about it, you can.
That's my action, other than commandeering the boat, which I'm not sure if we're going to try and do.
Oh, we
might
could.
wanna
We should
work-
probably get out
We
of here
can
now.
work towards that.
Yes.
Okay, so there's one you spot one person who's near a lantern. You toss oil on that person. There's like, and then you shoot the lantern next to them. The lantern explodes. The person gets hot, burning oil on them. They set on fire.
Ooh.
They go.
And then we hear Wilhelm scream. We're like, "Ah!"
Yeah. Well, basically.
I'm gonna try and assist air counteraction. I haven't now that the
Yeah.
thing is done. I have inexplicably a very large 2-handed battle axe
Yeah.
on me. I'm gonna try and smash the barrel she just tipped over.
Okay. Sure. So you smash the barrel.
Is
That
it full of drug powder?
no, it's full of silk.
Silk
You know what?
burns easily.
You know what? I will give you a chance that it is full of drug powder.
Roll for drugs.
It's silk.
Oh.
I'm gonna look up at Eric. At Judith expectantly and be like,
Oh, okay. Maybe not that one. Maybe it's that one. Oh, maybe we should just get out of here.
"It's their turn." Okay.
All right.
Meanwhile, we started the fire. The warehouse is burning, and that was our plan.
Yeah.
Man.
So
I panicked. I panicked and decided to set it on fire.
2 seconds.
We had 2 fortune tellers in the team. You would think we would have foreseen this.
I don't know if there's any rules associated with that.
Yeah.
So
Just because you have a job as a fortune teller doesn't mean you have any actual prognostication abilities.
Jer appears to be rolling their reaction towards us. They appear to be angry.
I feel like we're all gonna die, but I hope this warehouse burns down.
Okay.
Yes.
So the 2 of you are relatively close together, and the 2 of you are relatively close
Yeah,
together.
I imagine we're near the door, and you two dove behind some boxes a little bit further in.
Okay, so the wizard is going to cast a spell.
Oh no.
So the wizard casts a spell called Tar Cauldron,
Good. Yes.
which causes just a massive amount of tar to fall from right above your heads
Oh.
and kind of go all over the 2 of you.
Oh no.
Pretty effectively anchoring you to the ground, and with like sticky tar, and getting you nice and sticky and flammable.
You're gonna burn alive.
Meanwhile, the 2 of you are just going to have a whole bunch of sailors running up to you, and I'm sorry, but wailing on you.
Oh no.
So
Now I have an AC of 9. We established earlier.
okay, so Frederick, I got 1 miss, 2 misses. That's a 13, so you take 4. Sorry, yeah, it's 13, so you would take 4 points of damage.
All right, I die.
Okay.
Do you have a shield?
No. I'm holding a battle axe.
Okay,
I
Judith.
have taken lethal damage.
I have +1 to defense. So I have 7 or 8.
Okay, yeah, +1 would be 7.
Okay, 7. Okay.
So first hit is 13.
I'm dead.
Okay. So soldiers come up and kill and execute the two. Well, not soldiers, but
Angry dock workers who just saw one of their friends lit on fire come up and kill the two of us.
that guy jumps into the water.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's going to actually help him if he's covered in oil, but he's gonna do his best.
Yeah.
Or a flum. I always knew it would end up like this.
The two of you,
flame.
the two of you are actually have the fortune to be covered in tar, and so you they're not. You're going to get surrounded, and when the spell expires, they're going to tie you up.
Oh!
What?
And
Elf bias.
and a lady's going to come in
Oh no, it's Danica, or whatever her face is.
Daphne.
and says, "Now, I'm going to kill you,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
but before I do, what the hell were you doing?"
We had magic and we wanted to cast it.
This is a chance for, like, I'm going to die anyhow, right?
I mean, so she says.
Okay, excellent. Well, I mean, here's the deal. There's just, like, we just tried to come in here and, we wanted to come in and sell Yellow Mark in Irontown. And we tried to get in, and there was a lot of confusion. And then people started shooting at us. So we were like, oh, you know what people hate is fire. And we thought maybe we could defend ourselves with some fire. It's like, it's maybe not super friendly to us as well, but, when you're in a bad situation, somebody who's an enemy of yours and still an enemy to an enemy could be a little bit of a friend.
So who are you working for?
Ourselves.
All right, kill them. And they do.
There's nothing else we could really do
There's
there.
no sense in selling out the Wilberforce family.
I throw my caltrops at her.
We were not specced out for this encounter.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna kill you in a very cruel and awful way, probably by shoving you in a box and then dumping you in the water,
No.
and make you suffer. But I'm sorry, that is how we're
shouldn't
gonna
have
have
gone
to
in
end
the
it.
front door.
Good job,
Hooray,
everyone.
we died.
We should have taken the message when they punched us. Well,
Punch me.
yeah.
Punched you.
Twice.
Twice.
It was a valiant effort, and like spells are like giant bombs that do a whole bunch of stuff. But like, I feel like if you are, if you're gonna go head on into a big center of a giant criminal organization that there like that there's like 100 people in there, they're gonna have ways of
Negating it.
Yeah, of dealing with it. So unfortunately, that was maybe not the wisest thing to do.
I like that our actions had consequences.
I mean, this is before we went in, I was like, do we really want to do that? I'm like, what are we doing? All right, fine.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. There's your.
Yay!
We learned nothing.
That's a lot of fun. I kind of enjoyed the full party wipe. I think we may have set a record now. Is this the first ever full party wipe in an episode of Dice Games?
No, we've definitely all died in paranoia a lot, like
Oh,
multiple
okay,
times in an
okay.
episode sometimes,
Wow.
depending how cruel Dale was
Yeah.
and how stupid we were acting.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
any closing remarks?
any closing remarks? I could tell you what was going on if you want to know.
I mean, yeah.
You figured out huge parts of it, more than I was really expecting you to.
Okay.
Oh.
But I mean, so the key piece of information that you missed is that there was a stash house that was basically being used to like money would get dropped off, and then some unknown party would come and bring the drugs and exchange it for the
we
money.
went to the wrong location.
And you guys just went to the center of the gang, when in actual fact there was a different place that the exchange was going on that had been staked out by this other adventuring party, whose footsteps you were kind of following in.
This more competent adventuring party. Where was that information? I missed it.
It was around one of the One of the places you could have found that information was the book that you didn't get at the pawn shop,
I told you.
Oh, but we used it to gamble though, which was fun.
which
Yeah, we got drugs.
which had a bunch of information and a bunch of annotations that had been made by the previous adventuring party that had it.
I knew it.
But like there were
didn't need it
various
anymore 'cause they
you
knew
could
it
I mean
all.
there's as with any of these things like you could have even just like started tailing like if you'd staked out if you'd staked out the gang headquarters and started tailing people who were like coming and going from it and trying to actually track the shipments over a longer period of time, you probably could have figured it out that way. The guards who were at the drunk tank at the very beginning. They saw the people come and pick up your incredibly inebriated counterparts and take them off to be executed. They basically sold them out. So there were ways that you could go from there. I don't know. There's a bunch of different like ways that I figured that you could maybe try and solve the mystery. But I mean, you did a good job. You did a good job of following up on things and investigating. It's tough with these kind of. I was trying for something that was a little more open-ended. And,
Sure.
it ended up taking a lot more time than I expected as well. So that was part of it. And we had a little bit of a late start. So.
The one regret I have is not living to the next day and rolling up a new spell.
Yeah, the spells are super fun, and they're one of my favorite parts of the system for sure.
What a cool system. I really enjoyed character creation.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that you ended up all dying.
I'm
not.
So very
Yeah.
stupid.
I'm not that sorry.
We deserve it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was kind of the consequence of infiltrating the gang headquarters, or trying to infiltrate the gang headquarters.
Infiltrate would involve any amount of subtlety.
Subterfuge, yeah.
Yeah, no. We went in and we kicked a hornet's nest and we got stung.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. But,
Thank you.
If you want to catch up on that, it'll be on the podcast version, I guess. Watch it again. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where a good YouTube cut point is for Heather. So, do you want to just say thanks and good night?
For sure. Thanks everyone for joining us for this slightly bizarre but very interesting game with possible content warnings. And yeah, this was a lot of fun to be asked back. I hope that I get asked back again after this.
I might not.
But yeah, we will. I'm sure that I will see you again on future streams. And thank you from myself and everyone else at the table. This was a good time.
Bye, everybody.